Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Monday, April 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 89. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners at 8 a.m. and Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15 for Spread Lines. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Welcome to a championship edition of OTB. Kim Mulkey and the Tigers getting it done over the weekend. National champs, promises made, promises delivered for Coach Mulkey, as yesterday you watched your LSU Tigers take down the NCAA tournament darling, Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. It was an incredible performance, a way different way that LSU has won the rest of this tournament. There's so much to break down with their team. There's so much to look back on about how they got here. There's so much to marvel at when it comes to Coach Mulkey and what she has managed to pull off in such a short time here. It was fantastic. Both games, right? Fighting through Virginia Tech in the Final Four with one of the toughest, both mentally and physically tough fourth quarters that you'll ever see. Then what they were able to do yesterday, completely flipping the script and just deciding to win with offense. This team deserves their roses. They will get their roses. You can actually welcome back this LSU women's basketball team at 12:30 at the PMAC today. This is not the official championship parade, but if you just want to, say what's up, show your love for the returning conquerors, you can go out there today. So a fantastic weekend for this LSU women's team, adding a first ever national championship, something that has eluded the Tigers for far too long. But Jake, it's a second Monday in a row where you come in and give thanks because everybody won. I don't know what's in the water right now. Louisiana sports, so hot right now. Okay, LSU baseball, get the hell out of here, Tennessee. STTDB. We already told you. Okay, you got lucky to win the third. Who gives a damn? You lost the series, okay? LSU gymnastics, in a year in which they have been brutalized by injuries, right? I mean, so many setbacks, so many chances to have excuses. Yet, what did they do? Haley Bryant comes up with a clutch floor routine to force a tiebreaker against Michigan, which they win, which advances them to the Elite Eight, or really to the semifinals, right? The Pelicans beat the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard scored 40. Didn't matter. Brandon Ingram, too damn good, Jake. Pelicans beat the Clippers, and they have now won 7 of 8. They are closing in on the 5th seed, potentially. They've got a little bit of a gap with the teams beneath them, so the Pelicans continue to play excellent. Softball goes 5-0 over the weekend. They had the Purple and Gold Classic, playing BYU, NC State, Louisiana Tech. Nobody could keep up. LSU tracks at the Texas Relays. They set a couple new records, including a couple new school records. The list goes on and on and on. Basically, any team you cheer for had a successful weekend. So shout out to this weekend. Give thanks. But obviously, the headline are the national champions. This LSU women's Tiger basketball team just continues to defy all expectation at every turn. Huge congrats to the Tigers, bringing home a natty.
T, I'm glad that you mentioned Friday's game because obviously you can't get to last night's celebration after the game unless you get to that point. And being down like they were, outscoring Virginia Tech 29-13 in the fourth quarter, I mean, that was a fun game to watch. I think we were all probably at a youth sporting event, all watching it on our phones because I was at Traction. I think every single person had their phone out watching the women's game against Virginia Tech, but to fight through that, to be down 9 in the fourth quarter, coming out of half, they obviously were the aggressor, but you found a way. You didn't panic. You came back and you won that one, obviously, to get to a championship game scenario. And I tweeted this out yesterday. All the headlines were, because if you're watching even the SEC network, all the headlines were South Carolina loses their perfect season and Caitlin Clark's the best thing we've ever seen.
Yep.
Now, both of those things might be true, right? And they deserve to be headlines. But I was sitting there watching it, and obviously, look, I'm an LSU guy, and so, like, I kind of look for these things. I'm like, and my mom was sitting there watching it with me, and Katie, I'm like, are they going to talk about LSU, like, playing in this game? But it was about South Carolina. It was about Caitlin Clark, and, like, that's kind of how this team was treated all season long.
Yep.
And we'll get to the other stuff because I've got some thoughts I want to get to about when you've been told that you're not A, B, and C, and then you show everybody your every letter in the alphabet, like how that makes you feel. But LSU was that team, T-Bob, that no matter who they had, no matter who they beat, no matter what the record was, remember they went from top 5 all the way down to number 9, losing to a good Tennessee team in the SEC tournament. This was a team that was told they would not be in this position. In every single game, they went out there, they found a way, and then saving maybe the best for last, scoring over 100 points in a national championship game against an Iowa team that was as hot as anybody, had the hottest player, but you stepped up. Your bench stepped up when they absolutely had to. This team was not going to be denied.
So that's to me the wildest part about this, right? And it really reflects on the roster building of Coach Mulkey, the amount of buy-in that you have on this team from top to bottom. But you won this national championship game, and really this entire tournament, Jake. You won it as a team, right? Like in the national championship game specifically. Your best players in Angel Reese and Alexis Morris, they have to sit for the majority of the first half due to a couple early foul calls. And yet, despite that, you were able to grow and extend your lead throughout because everybody was stepping up. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about Jasmine Carson and her just unreal lights out first half. But yet last year, Poa hit a couple big threes. I think Poole hit a couple as well.
Poa also got Caitlin Clark into foul trouble.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, so even in this championship game alone, you have your best players out, the bench steps up, they make it happen, and then Alexis Morris ends up taking over the second half. But within this game alone, you saw two vastly different styles to winning this game, right? One that involved a ton of outside shooting, and then one where you come back the next half, and it's a lot of offensive rebound, banging around, paying a lot of mid-range type of action, right? But extend it into the entire tournament, Jake, and look at the amorphous blob that this LSU team was. The team that just set the record for the most points in the national championship won 2 games in this tournament where they shot 35% from the field.
Yep.
Think about that. How'd they win it? With elite defense and elite rebounding, right? So, like, this is an LSU team that is constructed as such, that had such a belief in themselves that they could take on whatever form they had to. Bruce Lee always talks about, be like water, right? Water takes the shape of whatever container it's in. That was this LSU basketball team. They were water, and they could adopt to whatever you were going to throw at them. They made it very clear that Caitlin Clark's viral moment from the South Carolina game, in which she waved off the girl at the three-point line saying, "You ain't going to shoot." Well, LSU said, okay, you ain't going to play us like that because we will shoot, and we're going to make you pay. Even though, oddly enough, it's something that we've never really done the entire year. Like, you almost have to feel for Iowa from a game planning perspective because there is no possible way that they expected to have to account for LSU going 9 of 12 from 3 in the first half. But that's the no fear that Coach Mulkey, I think instills into her players. And it was, look, Danny, in the middle of the 7:15 notes, there's a Twitter link from Ole Miss coach Gillette McQuinn where she's talking about Coach Mulkey and how she unlocks this team. Let me know we have that ready to go with volume, because I don't know that I've heard a better or more informed breakdown than you could really see it on the court. But again, the wild way in which this team could win in so many different ways speaks, it speaks to a lot of things. It speaks to leadership from the players. It speaks to the buy-in from the players, knowing that, look, today may not be your day, but you're still going to be counted on tomorrow. And it speaks to the makeup of the team, the creation of this roster. And really, I mean, if you really want to extend it, Jake, even to the power of NIL and the transfer portal, right? If you have the right coach, just how quickly you can make things come together.
We'll certainly talk about that. I mean, in only 2 years, the fact that you're national champions and Coach Mulkey's introductory press conference when she's talking about the banners, I mean, how well does that play out here today? As she said, look, we got to change that into national championship. And you've had some of the greatest to ever play basketball play for your school, and you couldn't get over that hump. You couldn't even get to a national championship game. And so to unlock that is truly remarkable. And you need to remember, too, like LSU was one of the top 5 offensive basketball teams in the country. They were third with 84 points per game. So they were not shooting the ball well in this tournament. That's the obvious statement. They were finding ways to win, but you heard them say, just wait till our shots start to fall. If that happens, we're going to be dangerous because we're finding ways. We're shooting awful, and we're finding ways to win these basketball games against really good teams. So they started to fall. And I don't think they had them falling at that rate.
They saved them up.
But they were falling at the highest rate maybe that we've ever seen. I mean, what a pure shooting performance. But again, they were third nationally in offense during this year. They were also third in rebounds, and that was the story of this game. Because Iowa's a team that can rebound the basketball. They did it against South Carolina, who's the top rebounding team in the country to some extent, because nobody was really getting any rebounds on South Carolina, but they were. LSU won that 37-26, 14 offensive rebounds.
Angel
that was a big
Reese
story.
is a dog on them offensive boards. I mean, one of my favorite things is a bit like watching, you know, when we talk about watching football and how to watch, Jake, I feel very passionately about when the ball is snapped, watch the line play until the ball leaves the pocket, right? Then you can watch a person with the ball. There's nothing interesting about watching the quarterback just drop back because you don't even know what footwork, like you don't really care. In the same way, when a 3 is jacked up or something like that, the temptation is to watch the ball sail through the air. And I get that, right? But if you watched Angel Reese, every time a shot went up from LSU, if you watched her box out and bang on those boards, that was the real show. I mean, you just saw a fist fight underneath the basket with Angel Reese straight up bullying Iowa to grab those offensive boards. And it's what she's done all year long. And it was fantastic to watch once again. And what I love is that look, Caitlin Clark was Caitlin Clark. She was awesome. Now, yes, foul trouble ended up playing a part, and I really hated the technical foul. I mean, it was, you know, it was a bit of a ref show at times, and that was
the beginning of the game. T-Bob was like, brutal. This is not about you.
Yeah,
this is about the stars that we have here on this court. I mean, gosh, in a national championship game, if you're going to go one way or the other, let them play more than calling it tight.
No, I agree. I guess the referees did not for whatever reason. Now, thankfully, it is a situation where it was bad for both teams, right? So it's not like either team can feel like both teams can feel frustrated, but I don't think any one team can sit there and say that they felt like they got cheated, right? Both teams' best players got into foul trouble. Both teams' best players had to play limited minutes relative to how many they wanted to play. And so it's all kind of even on the scales of justice, but yeah, but Caitlin Clark was awesome, even with the fouls, right? I mean, she came out there immediately and suddenly playing her, you felt what all these other tournament teams have felt, that this woman is a single source of perpetual energy that is nearly capable of lifting an entire team to a championship by herself. I mean, you certainly feel all of the Steph Curry vibes and everything. She feels just as I mean, she finished 9 of 18 for 3.
We use generational probably too much, and I'm talking to myself here. You'll say, yeah, generational talent. And sometimes it's like, no, just a really good player.
Yeah.
She's generational.
Yeah, for sure.
There's not, I don't know that I've ever seen what she does. I mean,
well, to me, she's
her first shot of the game.
Yeah. I mean, to me, she's just truly, and it's something you're seeing more and more in the NBA and on all other levels, right? Like, she's just a child of this new era of basketball. Like, you never practiced dribbling behind your back into a step back 3 from, 8 feet beyond the arc because a coach would have never allowed it. Like, that would have gotten you benched for 100 years of basketball. And then ever since the Steph Curry or Warriors revolution, it's all kind of, so she is now someone who has grown up in that revolution, right, Jake? And so when she's out there practicing, she's given herself the green light to do those shots. The coaches are giving her the green light to do those shots, and it's obviously paying massive dividends. The amount of skill with which she plays is fantastic. And I do love it. It's a great foil to Angel Reese, right, whose work is a lot more dirty. It's wet work. It's like knife fights in tight quarters in a phone booth. And then you have Caitlin Clark out here being kind of the polar opposite, winning with range and finesse. And both are great and both brought their teams to championships. However, LSU at the end of the day was just a more complete team, led by a person that has been there before in every single way, as a player, as an assistant, as a head coach, a gold medal winner. Coach Mulkey has one of the greatest winning resumes of any human being that you will ever see in your entire life. And so it should come as no surprise that even though, look, all of Scott Woodward's hires look great right now, the big three, when you look at Mulkey, Jay Johnson got baseball ranked number 1, expectations higher than ever for football, but there's a reason why Mulkey's the first to cross that finish line, because she's the only one that's actually done it before. And now she's done it once again. And she breaks the curse of LSU in these Final Fours and brings home a national championship. Unreal, dude. It just, it should have been impossible to live up to the expectation that was placed upon her. And not only was it not impossible, she got it done in 2 years.
I think that's the
that doesn't make any sense.
That's the remarkable part. It's the 2 years because, look, she's just a winner like you just laid out there, T. She's done it 3 times before as a head coach, winning a national championship. And eventually you figure, okay, it's going to work out here. LSU is a place that has great resources. They have a desire to be good in women's basketball, all those things, right? But the fact that she did it in 2 years, and I realize you do now have the transfer portal and NIL, but you have to take advantage of the tools that you are
everybody
given.
has it.
Everyone has it, and she took advantage of it, took full advantage of it, put this roster together, 9 new players here, and the chemistry, it worked. And it worked all season long.
Yeah.
They lost 2 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I told the story the other day. Exactly.
Bums.
My 7-year-old, wait, this doesn't make sense. They're 31-2 or whatever it was. Why are they a 3 seed? I'm like, son, they just for some reason didn't respect LSU this year because they didn't.
Yeah,
they did not. That's why. That LSU. That's why that's the tag, because writers were like, LSU ahead of UConn. Every time that they lost, it was like, told you so.
Yeah.
I told you so. And that's only twice, but it was still
a couple
I
times.
told you so. Right? You lose by 20+ to South Carolina. Oh, they're not in their league.
Soft non-conference.
And you lose to Tennessee, a team you already beat in the regular season, but you lose. And you were up 17. You shouldn't lose that game, but you did. You dropped from 3 to 9. That just doesn't happen ever. So this team, again, time and time again, you're not there yet. This is not your time. Cute story, but you're not going to play with the big brands once we get to tournament time.
And, in the end, the Tigers take home the Natty. Ooh, it feels so good. First time in school history. When we get back, we'll talk about some of the other aspects of the game. I really want to start with that clip from Ole Miss women's basketball head coach, as I believe she offers some invaluable insight into Coach Mulkey and how she's accomplished what she has. And then we'll get into some of the more national storylines, the taunting and whatnot. So keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu. Go to iticollege.edu today, okay? And it's a great place to go explore how you can change your life for the better. Economic times being as such they are, it can feel a little intimidating, right? And maybe you're stuck at a job right now, but you don't know, long term, is this viable? Well, how about you get out of a job and you get into a career thanks to ITI Technical College, where in just 1 to 2 years, you get that AOS degree. And what that means, Jake, is that basically you're setting your life on a path for a better future. Look at the Georgetown study from a couple of years ago, which ITI Technical College is the best investment in the state in terms of what you pay versus what you'll be expected to make in your career, and top 15 in the entire country. ITI Technical College.
Here's that number, 225-267-8003. Call them today. Call admissions. Get it set up. Always check them out online, iticollege.edu.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care.
It's on. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 recap in LSU and Tennessee on the Diamond, and the Lady Tigers season will be done. Hopefully there's a natty involved. Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 on Monday, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes I've made a few. I've had my shells and kicked in my bed, but I've come through. I need to go on. We are the champions, my friend.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, it always hits a little different after you win an actual championship. I mean, it says it right there. Is that taunting? No time for losers? They got no time for losers, okay? Champions only. Shout out to the LSU women's basketball team. A lot of people in chat are saying the technical on Caitlin Clark was actually correct according to the rules because it was a second delay game and the rest of it calls BS. Yeah, I'm now this probably would be a bad referee, Jake, but I am to the point where I just don't call it delay game. She just rolled the ball back right. Just suck it up, pick up the ball, and keep it moving. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I said, it was a ref show for both teams. Yeah. LSU overcame everything that was thrown their way the same way they did the entire tournament. This video, and I want to say it was Kyle Whitfield, just a great follow on Twitter, who originally highlighted this, and then I found it. But this video from Ole Miss head coach, Yolette McQuinn really speaks to Coach Mulkey, her strengths, and just how this team was able to get so good so fast.
Kim Mulkey is such a gangster, man. Like, and I mean that in a good way. She's a gangster. You know, she's an OG. And a lot of people, she's an acquired taste, so a lot of people don't like her, but I respect what she does because she's unapologetic about it. And honestly, when it comes to that, I kind of see me in her. She makes those kids think that they're superheroes, you know, and that's the biggest strength. They walk it, they talk it. You got the Bayou Barbie, you got Flage, that's a rap star / hooper, Alexis Morris that plays pissed off with the world. They just really believe in themselves. And in women's basketball, that counts for about 15 points, you know. So they believe that they belong. They don't care that they played a soft non-conference. I can say that because it's the truth, they did. But now they're kind of making me think, like, do I need to play a soft non-conference? Because they look fresh and strong, and here we go trying to play these tough games and get beat up, and we don't have legs. They're fresh because they cruised through non-conference and had to only prep for conference, really, if you really think about it. Angel Reese is dominant. I love her game. She's so confident, not highly skilled, but highly confident, and she's relentless.
So, and look, the non-conference thing is kind of funny, but really what stands out to me there, Jake, and it's been a theme, it's a couple of things. First off, there is some, I think you can call it cognitive dissonance. Is that right? It doesn't matter. Dissonance, maybe. The point is there's a disconnect between the people that know and play for Coach Mulkey and those who observe from the outside, right? For whatever reason, she is viewed, it feels like, as a bit of a villain in the larger women's college basketball kind of hive mind, right? But as you see from Coach right there, and many who play for her, nothing could be further from how they feel about it. The second part is this idea of Coach Mulkey making these kids believe in themselves, right, in order to unlock their max potential, believe that they're superheroes. And that's maybe the greatest thing that Coach Mulkey did. I mean, look at Jasmine Carson, right, somebody who hadn't scored a point in 2 weeks, and then she comes out and has the 21 points in the first half, 5 of 5 for the 7 of 7 overall. Alexis Morris sticking with it. And we all know about Morris's journey, right, getting kicked off Baylor by Coach Mulkey, calling Mulkey when she got the job at LSU, asking her back on the team. Coach Mulkey allowing her back and now getting the most out of her. And you could see the anger that she plays with it. You could see it in that second half when she took over to win you the game. We talked about the relentless pressure from Angel Reese and really just the entire team. So it's something that Coach also brought up a bunch as well, Jake, which is that a lot of coaches would be intimidated by this cast of characters that LSU had on this team. A lot of big personalities, a lot of superstar personalities. And coaches told us the entire time, look, I didn't shy away from it. In fact, I didn't even try to, change them. I embraced it. And I made it work within them because I played with that personality. And she does have that personality, right? Look at the swag she has. Look at what she wears on the sideline, the confidence. She's at the Final Four press conference singing old country songs in a cowboy hat. Like, she is supremely confident in herself and who she is. And that confidence has an osmosis or a trickle-down effect to her players. And it leads to the self-belief that can have a team that won 2 games while shooting 35% from the field win a national championship with a record 102. Unreal. And I love the insight there. From Ole Miss's coach, because I think it's just absolutely spot on. And that's from an opponent and a competitor, right, which always carries a little extra weight.
You know, there's something to having different styles, obviously, and there's a lot of coaches that they want to be liked. But I remember when I was a freshman, Coach Saban, he got in front of the room. He's like, look, I don't care if anybody on the outside likes me. He's like, I care about the 85 people in here and my assistant coaches. He said, because if they like you, that means because they feel like they can get one over on you. They feel like they have an advantage over you. And I'm paraphrasing here because there's words we can't say here, but he's like, I hope every you-know-what thinks I'm the worst person that is out there. Because that means that they know they can't get one over on me.
Yeah.
That means that they know every time that I'm involved in a situation, be it recruiting, be it on the field, be it whatever, that I'm going to be the toughest you-know-what out there. And I remember being
he
like,
kind of did it.
yeah, I know. And I remember being a freshman being like, like, man, I want everybody to like me. It's like, no. If they like you, it's because they feel like they have an advantage over you. So, look, there's different ways to do it. Coaches that are beloved certainly can have success, but that was his mentality. And sometimes you got to have a different mentality. Not saying that Coach Mulkey has that, because I'll be real honest with you. I don't understand maybe where some of that comes from, because we have her on every week and she's a great personality. And I understand, but she has to do what she has to do, and she doesn't really care though.
No, I think that's the problem, is that she is very strong-willed, and if she believes in something, she is willing to say it. Something that is kind of increasingly rare now, and something that you always have to be careful with, because it can get you into trouble. It's just how much trouble. But Coach Mulkey doesn't really care, right? She says what she believes, and I think that has led to some friction. But I actually think it's kind of perfect, though, Jake, especially when one of the big storylines coming out of this game has to do with taunting and whatnot, and Angel Reese kind of doing the can't see me to Caitlin Clark and pointing at the ring finger.
Oh boy, Facebook was in a tizzy.
Yeah, I know, man. But like in the same way, like again, that's why I think it's appropriate that Coach Mulkey's involved here, right? Because she's kind of lived her life with that kind of can't see me attitude, unapologetically. That's been instilled in her players, and it should be celebrated. It should not be condemned. I mean, I don't need to make this point because there's national media all over the place making this point. If this was a male sport, no one would care. No one gives a damn. People celebrate on each other all the time. Too ridiculous. So we would be we'd be championing it, be going viral in a positive way. You'd be like, oh my God, he got him. No, but for some reason, because Caitlin Clark is beloved or something, or we're supposed to suddenly feel bad. I mean, no, taunting is what it is, and it's good for the sport. And it's great to see this in women's sports especially, and we don't need to treat them with some sort of double standard or some sort of kids' gloves.
No, and so many people are upset about this. LSU fans, let me just tell you, and some of y'all are not going to like this, and that's fine. You're able to have your opinion. But when you're in a high-stakes game like this, of this magnitude, and also you have to look at it from LSU's perspective, right? Team-wise, disrespected.
Yeah.
Right? To lose 2 games and one of them be in the SEC tournament, in the SEC, and you're a 3 seed, disrespected. Right? You were told that you're not supposed to be in the top 5 all season long. You lose a game. You fall back almost outside the top 10. All of those narratives, okay? And then, if you're Angel Reese, you set the record. No one has ever had more double-doubles than you've had.
Yep.
You did something that's never been done in women's basketball. You know how many votes you got for Player of the Year? Not one.
That's so wild.
Okay, did Caitlin Clark, absolutely deserve every – yeah. Boston got votes. I think she got 8. I think Caitlin Clark got 21. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, Aaliyah Boston hasn't had 33 double-doubles in a year.
Angel Reese didn't get any. So as a competitor, as the ultimate competitor, and again, this is not for everyone. I get that. I understand that. But y'all know me. I used to have the newspapers in my locker that told I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Sometimes that's your motivation. And when you get to that peak of I've told you so, I knew I was this all along, sometimes that emotion is going to come out. And that one player of the year, right, wrong, or indifferent, is right there. And look, Caitlin Clark, one of the best parts about her game, she's going to talk trash too.
Yeah.
So you get to that point. Everybody's been telling you can't do this as a team and individually. You did something, again, that's never been done, and you get no love for it. Sometimes you're going to, make sure everybody knows where you finish, which is on top.
I mean, that's the dumbest part about it, dude. Everybody celebrated Caitlin Clark clowning that girl from South Carolina. Celebrated her doing the can't see me. Hell, Caitlin Clark isn't even upset by any of this, right? I mean, it's everybody being soft on the outside. It's just competition. Jake, why am I supposed to feel bad for the people that were trying to shatter my dreams, right? Caitlin Clark's trying to make sure I don't win a national championship. I've worked my entire life to get here, and that woman is the one trying to break me. So when I break her, she's going to hear about it. Okay, that's just how sports work. So get the hell. I guess I can believe it, but it just maddens me that any of this is even a conversation. And I love how Angel Reese handled it after the game, basically saying, nah, you ain't gonna get me to suddenly kowtow or feel bad. If you want to dish it, you got to take it. It's a playground rule that we all learned growing up, okay? And it remains as true now today as it did then. So I love it. And again, remember, we may feel bad for people and narratives on the outside looking in when somebody loses. But if you're in that game, your opponent is trying to shatter your dreams, your entire life's work. You don't feel bad for them. Like, you don't. You beat them and you celebrate over their corpse.
That's perfectly said, because we're not in that battle. You know this as well as I do. You don't know also what was said during the game.
Yeah, for sure.
You have no idea. So, like, when you see a player lose their mind sometimes, I'm not saying she did, but, like, I know I have before.
Yeah.
It's because something was said that you'll never know what was said. It stays in between the lines, but I'm going to react to it. I've had, after games and football games, a lot of times it's like, okay, man, we just played for 60 minutes. Like, look, we both said some things, like, good game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes to the tunnel.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't stop because there's things that were said or things that were done or there's an emotion that's coming out. Like, it's happened to all of us. I know we played the Ravens one year in Qualcomm, and it was literally like walking to the tunnels. Their tunnel was over here. Ours was over here. And we're following each other into the tunnel talking trash. And, like, you have to be separated because there was things that were said on the field that were a step too far, and the 60 minutes wasn't enough. And sometimes it happens that way. When you're a competitor, when you're on that field at the highest level, the highest stakes that you can have, you're going to have emotions that come out that have been building up all season long.
Well, and, I mean, I don't even think Angel Reese, like, doesn't even have a problem with Caitlin Clark. Like she said, it just is, you know, she talked trash. Who's the girl from Miami that ended up getting hurt that she was trash talking the whole game? That's like one of her close friends that she played with growing up. Like she said, she's from Baltimore. When they hoop, that's just how they talk. Coach Mulkey said it as well. So yeah, it's such crap to me that it's even a talking point. But shout out Angel Reese. I think she acquitted herself very well. And shout out Alexis Morris coming through in that second half, getting tweeted at from Magic Johnson. What was the stat that's going around with Alexis Morris? Scored or assisted on 27 of LSU's points in that second half. Again,
while playing defense,
yes,
on the best shooter in basketball.
That's a good point. Yes, which is supposed to exhaust you on the offensive end. But yeah, like I said, even in this game, you saw two completely different teams from LSU that combined to score 102 and beat Iowa. All right, when we get back, more celebrating this national championship. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
You've heard about it, we've got it. Semaglutide, RejuveMeMedical.com.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Join me, Jimmy and Charles Hannegger, for the Monday edition of Game Time. We're live at Walk-Ons in Bruley. Get you ready for the NCAA Basketball Championship. Monday, live from the Walk-Ons in Bruley. Game Time on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's going to be a party in the PMAC today. Looked like there was a party in the PMAC yesterday. That place looked awesome for the live viewing. Did anybody go? I was doing kid stuff all weekend. That's why I was just watching yesterday at home, drinking some beers. It was excellent.
Yeah, I was watching at home, sweaty palm, pacing back and forth watching it. I don't think anybody wants to see me in that element.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was the first championship basketball that I've watched that I had a rooting interest since my little brother's high school state championship game. And championship games, especially those single elimination, they just feel different, Bo? Man. Like even whatever
GAC,
like
Bo GAC as well.
Yeah, back in the day.
Okay,
but even like
they
whatever
win?
like yeah, they did actually.
Right.
But even like whatever like Pelicans playoff games haven't come close to getting the emotion that a championship game does, almost regardless of level there. Shout out to our guy Joey Boudreaux. Of course, it's Joey Boudreaux, Mr. Meat and Cheese.
Yes.
On Twitter. His name's Joey Boudreaux at Mr. Meat and Cheese. He gives a screenshot from FanDuel where he bet $200 back on November 12th. Bet $200 for LSU to win the national championship. That turned into a cool $10,000.
I wonder what was going on for Joey on November the 12th at 9:15 a.m. that made him say, you know what? Let's ride.
Was that right after LSU beat Alabama in football? Right? I mean,
see what day
in that game, normally around that date, maybe old Joey was just feeling happy after watching that 2-point conversion, feeling Kim Mulkey, Scott Woodward. Because
it was a Saturday, so it might have been game day.
What time did he place the bet?
9:15 a.m.
Oh, wow. Okay, putting a little good juju in the air, I guess. Scott Woodward is on fire right now, though. Make no mistake, right? Jay Johnson, baseball ranked number 1, football favored to win the West, and now women's basketball national champions. And shout out to our girl Carly Woodard as well in the chat, who bet $20 back at the beginning of the season on them to win and got a nice little payday as well. Shout out to everybody who backed.
It was
Coach Mulkey was rewarded.
Actually, right before the Arkansas game, that was a noon kickoff. So 11 Central Time. So Joey's like, you know what? We just beat Alabama last week. About to play the Tide here at 11 a.m. Probably getting his game day stuff ready to go.
Say Saturday morning college game day coffee. You're always in a great mood, right? He's in a great mood. He's feeling it. Like, what the hell? Drop $200 on the Tigers. Maybe he had a big bet come out from some time before that. Either way, shout out to Joey. But look, we got $5 turning at 65 here from a guy, Michael Purple. That's awesome, man. There's a lot of big wins.
Nothing like future belief in the team that you root for like that. I mean, all the Joey Burrow Heisman ticket numbers that we saw whenever he won the Heisman Trophy, and people were betting it off what he said at the Manning Passing Academy in the summertime.
Which we all laughed at him when he said they were going to score 40 a game.
Yeah.
Like, okay, dude. I mean,
like 40, 50, 60.
Have you watched LSU for the past 10 years? You really think you're about to do this, dude? Okay, look. So obviously we're kind of wrapping up this hour of celebrating. We got weekend winners to get to. We'll get to baseball and some of the other sports over the weekend. When we get back, let's go ahead and close it at number 1. We got to give a shout out to Jasmine Carson because it was her day yesterday. So let's break it down next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
225-206-1517. 225-206-1517. Jake, I would say that times right now are starting to feel a little tight for a lot of people, right? Which means that you're probably looking, okay, where can I create some savings in my life? And Thomas and Megan email at Riverlands Insurance are your key. It's a great pathway to the very savings that you seek. You call 225-206-1517. They're part of Riverlands Insurance. No matter what it is, home, auto, anything like that, business, whatever. They shop around and they get you the best policy from a money to coverage standpoint, and they save you money. Remember that our guy a couple months back saving $4,000 a year. Tell me you couldn't make that go a pretty long way right now. So call up Thomas email at Riverlands Insurance.
And again, that's anywhere in Louisiana, so it doesn't matter where you're listening to us. Maybe it's 11:30 a.m. up in North Louisiana, but no matter where you're at, call that 225 number 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green,
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TD to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
Hey, it's Hunt. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 recap in LSU and Tennessee on the Diamond, and the Lady Tigers season will be done. Hopefully there's a natty involved. Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 on Monday, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Shout out Ashley Megan. Jake in the chat makes a great point. Jasmine Carson is truly off the bench. A hero for our mornings. Off the bench, in the zone. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's good. Because Coach Mulkey did call us out on the name of the show before.
Yeah, for saying that neither of us came off the bench.
Yeah,
Not
but
entirely true.
She did come off the bench for Coach Mulkey.
Yep. Save the day.
And literally won them a national championship.
At a time when things looked really scary, right? Angel Reese and Alexis Morris, 2 fouls apiece, both having to sit on the bench. Who's going to step up? And again, it was everybody, right? We talked about last year, Poe. We talked about Poole. We talked about everybody making plays. Didn't LaDeja play every single minute of the game? I believe the only player who did. Again, they won as a team, but in that first half, when you needed somebody to step up because your best players literally could not, Jasmine Carson wasn't just good. She wasn't just great. She was perfect. Quite literally perfect. As she scores 21 in the first half alone, goes 5 of 5 from 3, 7 of 7 overall. And you knew that final possession of the first half, you knew who was getting the ball. She knew it as well. She shoots with confidence, and guess what, man? So when you're hot, the bank is open sometimes. and look, and to be clear, it wasn't like she's banking in all these things, right? I mean, no, these were smooth, dominant, confident shots, and it's just crazy. Like, I keep going back to that clip about Coach Mulkey making her players believe that they're superheroes, Jake. Jasmine Carson had no reason to shoot the ball this confidently.
Right.
She's been ice cold. She's been benched. Had scored a point in a couple weeks. And as Ashley points out, she comes off the bench and becomes the hero that her team needs when they need it. And then it's a credit to this team and to the game plan as well, Jake, that in the second half, they didn't just force the pressure on her to, keep this up. You have to somehow recreate this. No. At that point, Alexis Morris was able to get back in. She was able to kind of take over, change the pacing of a game now that you had a lead, slow it down a bit. But you do not win this game without Jasmine Carson. It's a performance for the ages, one of the most legendary, if not the most legendary, national championship game performance I could imagine.
And it could be a situation when you look at her career. She started at Georgia Tech, went to West Virginia, ended up here at LSU, and she was only someone that started 8 games before she got to LSU.
Damn.
So she was like a rotational piece, and she dealt with some injuries as well. But she comes to LSU, T-Bob, she starts 30 games. And so you're thinking, I finally made it. I'm now like I'm a full-time starter, 30 out of 36 games, I'm the starter. Well, then you get to the tournament, you get to different situations, your shot's not falling, well, you find yourself on the bench. And that's going to go one of two ways. You're either going to keep going down farther down the bench and you're going to pout, or you're going to, hey, if I get my chance, if I get my opportunity, I'm going to show them why I was a starter for 30 games in this national championship season. So she gets the opportunity. You said it. There was no shyness about shooting a three. I mean, it was uber confident there. And then once she made the first one, it was like, okay, this is how it's going to go the rest of the game. You could just tell the confidence that she had. So I can appreciate someone that, went to the bench after being a starter, and when your number's called, going the right way and not going to the end of the bench.
Mental toughness. It's the same thing that won them the game against Virginia Tech, a game that we're probably not even talking enough about, right? Because as incredible as the Natty was, the ability of them to suffer in the way they did in the third quarter of the game and come back and win, it's just, it boggles the mind. More OTB, hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bone.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Having a baby? Preparing for retirement? My friends at Gulf Coast Bank and Trust are ready to help you realize your dreams and navigate these life-changing events. The difference at Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is that all their easy-to-use technology is backed by real people in our community who are invested in your success. No matter your goal, Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is here to make it happen. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you've been injured, it doesn't matter if you were hit by a big truck, a smart car, or anything in between. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12671. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Monday, April 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 89. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners coming up next, and Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15 for Spread Lines. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, OTB Championship Monday edition. As your LSU Fighting Tigres national champs. First time in school history. Coach Mulkey told you in the PMAC just 2 years ago, I am here to hang a national championship banner up there. Well, today at 12:30, Coach Mulkey will be back in that building with this team. If you want to go welcome the conquering heroes back from the faraway lands of Dallas, parading their spoils through the streets. Like if this was old school, like medieval warfare, Jake, they would have Caitlin Clark's head on a stick and be parading around the town. And you know what? We would all celebrate and go crazy, okay? So get out of here with being mad about a ring finger being pointed to, okay? We have become more civilized, but trash talk should still be allowed. Here is Angel Reese on the desk with the analysts after the game, talking about her kind of taunting Caitlin Clark there.
Were you sitting on the...
Oh, I was waiting.
How long were you sitting on
I tell you, I was waiting. Me?
At what point were you waiting to pull out this?
Man.
Kind of the Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark is a hell of a
incredible
player for sure. But I don't take disrespect lightly. And she disrespected Alexis and my girls. South Carolina, they still my SEC girls too. But y'all not gonna disrespect them either. So I wanted to pick her pocket, but I had a moment at the end of the game, and I was in my bag. I was in my moment. Yeah.
To the victor go the spoils.
To the victor go the spoils. You just heard it right there. I mean, you know who wasn't upset, Jake? Any of the people on that analyst desks who have championships from coaching, play, like, because they get it. If you played sports, you get it. Like the only people that are clutching pearls here are people who have maybe they've never been in the fight. I don't understand it because it feels like whether it's Isaiah Thomas coming to her defense, Magic Johnson, like if you actually look, the vast majority of people weighing in that have played some level of highly competitive or some high level of a competitive sport are all like, what are y'all talking about? This is good. Like
Magic's probably thinking, if you heard what me and Larry said to each other.
Yeah. I mean, Isaiah Thomas, yeah, dude. What were the bad boys back in the day, or the Pistons? Like, no, man, this is how it works. And if we celebrate Clark for it, celebrate Reese for it as well. Bottom line. And we'll continue to celebrate this LSU women's national championship team, even if the national media does not want to, because this was a legendary run from this hobbled together motley crew. And I know we keep saying 2 years, and absolutely you don't get this without these huge, massive strides forward taken from last year, but the fact that this team, like if you look at the contributors, was almost made fresh this year, the 9 newcomers and everything else, it's just such a credit to what Coach Mulkey was able to accomplish this year. Shout out to LaDasia Williams, as Cyril Snuggler points out in the chat. We mentioned her playing every minute of the game. She says, LaDasia Williams had the quietest 20 points of national championship ever. She played awesome. I remember like a lot of big buckets. I did not realize it had gotten up to 20.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at a box score. So I did not realize that she
it was the go-to in the post the entire
Yeah.
game against a team that's been really good in the post, obviously in Iowa. But kind of what we're talking about, like right now, they were talking about it on Get Up, and they're showing Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and the celebrations. Like, and it's a part of the story without question. And
It's become the story, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll talk about it on snaps. I'm sure a little bit. I'll talk about it on off campus, and it's a part of it.
You're gonna talk about a lot, Bo.
Yeah. We'll be 3 hours of basketball. Today is the championship for the men's as well. But don't allow that to become the only story, though. It's part of it. Sure, there's something there. There's meat on that bone.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
But also talk about the incredible NCAA tournament we just saw as well. I have never been as locked in to a women's tournament. And it's not because LSU was making a run. I watched all of Utah and Princeton randomly. I watched all of Iowa, South Carolina. I watched all of Ohio State and UConn. This was an incredibly entertaining women's tournament. The ratings blew the doors off what it previously had done. The game is continuing to grow. The ticket prices were just astronomical. I mean, to get into these games because the product is getting to a point where everyone wants to watch. It's really been at that point. I mean, we talked about, you know, when we were at school, we'd go to women's games, but now everyone's kind of catching on to a really fast pace. I mean, you had NBA players tweeting all game long, really all tournament long, of the pace of the play and the elite basketball skills that you saw in the game. So women's basketball right now on an all-time high. And I'm glad that, you know, people that are casual, not even fans at all, are starting to realize that it's a very quality product.
Well, and what you're going to see, Jake, is like a snowball rolling downhill. There's now momentum being created that's only going to lead the game to getting better and better and better, right? Because this tournament is a byproduct of the times in which we live. And one of the parts of the times in which we live is there is an investment in women's basketball that we've never seen before, right? And as we move to the new on-demand age of content, the only thing that people care about watching live are sports. And what we're learning is, even though we maybe didn't think this in the past, it's not just men's sports. Women's basketball is a huge winner. We talk about gymnastics ratings all the time, softball ratings all the time, volleyball in a lot of portions of the country. Like, what we're learning is that, no, women's sports are a draw, right? And because of that, you can make money advertising in them, right? And because money makes everything go around, that means that the product gets better and better and better. And so when you see these ratings and you look at it building off this, and you see the kids that are now growing up watching, like, you know, they've grown up in the Steph Curry era, they're watching Caitlin Clark, like all of a sudden, you're just going to continue to see the quality of the game continue to grow and grow and grow because you've never had this sort of investment in the game before, and it's only going to continue to grow and grow and grow. I love this from our guy, Hold the Mayo, who'll be on in Spread Lines about an hour. He said, LOL, classy basketball is a new and funny term I've never heard before. Like, that is true. There's not a more crap-talking sport than basketball. I mean, I know football's up there, but in football, you're in pads. There's a ton of guys on the field. I mean, basketball is the sport. Michael Jordan closing his eyes, shooting the free throws against Mutombo. Like, it is the sport where this goes down. And, this is just a continuation of what it has always been. Go ahead.
I forgot I did forget, like, wait a minute, we're in weekend winners.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the storylines that are coming out of the national championship game, sometimes you go astray there. Danny, do you have that video that I sent you ready to go? All right. I say it all the time. Like, when I was in school, like, Simone Augustus was somebody, like, we were going to go watch her play.
Yeah.
She's the GOAT. She's got a statue outside the PMAC. And she was obviously at the game yesterday, but she was trying to get on the court after the game to celebrate because she's the greatest player to ever play for the program. She should be on the court. And obviously, look, I understand championship game situations. It's going to be hard to get onto the court, just like it's going to be hard to get on the field or whatever. No matter who you are, like, you got to have a credential and everything. But they were trying to figure it out. And actually, Maria Taylor saw Simone try to get on the court. She had a pass to get on the court. And she was walking over there. She was going to give her pass to Simone because she's like, that's Simone Augustus. She absolutely should be on this court. And so she walks over there. They figure it all out. Simone's able to go out there and celebrate with the LSU team. So it was a great moment. Maria Taylor, if you've never had a conversation with her, she's as genuine of a person as you will find. She is outstanding human being.
That's cool.
And so it's no surprise that Maria did that.
Shout out Maria getting Simone on the court. Wait, so is there video of it? Do you want to play it? Do we need audio?
No, I don't need audio. But video.
No, just play it. And then Ashley Megan in the chat says, fun fact, girls sports have grown 15% the last decade, while boys participation has dropped. Huge market for money. Yes. Oh, look at Blair. Yeah, come on. Maria's like, guys, what do we?
Wait, she's got her pass in hand. She's like, look, we got to get her on the court.
Yeah, what are we doing here, dude? Respect the legend. Yeah. Shout out Maria Taylor. And then there's Survive 623 in the chat. It says, I'm a 48-year-old 5'10" white guy, and I always talk smack on the basketball court. Yeah. And then Ashley says we're going to have to rename the court again. Oh, crap.
I mean, okay. This is not the show to get into that, and we are so glad that we were not in town for that week. But a lot of people were talking about, you save that for champions. Oh, man, there's going to be another argument. It's like, what do? You got two people's name on the court. Legends. Won a lot of games.
Name it for Starkey, okay? One of my weekend winners. Let's go ahead and kick off weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay?
I thought we already
did that. Gotta keep our composure. You shot too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
Larry Connor Jr. says, hopefully taunting your opponent as you're winning a championship won't become a trend. Hopefully you don't have any kids, Larry. We don't need any softness like that put into the world. Shout out Bob Starkey. I'm sorry, Larry. That was a little aggressive. But
Larry,
your
go
take
back.
was
I
a
know,
little weak.
Larry, just go back, though, and watch Joey B, watch Clyde in that 2019, exactly. Watch Jefferson, watch Chase, and it's the thing that we loved about that team is they had the ultimate swag.
Who could ever forget, was it Ed Ingram with the horns down in that Texas game?
I know Clyde did, yeah.
One of the most legendary. They both looked at each other.
It was like the timing of it, like to hold it up there long enough to get.
Dunked it. No, I mean, it was the best horns down ever. Hey, weekend winner, Bob Starkey. This man had been to the Final Four 6 times, Jay.
Play, Bob.
6 times.
Play, Bob.
7 times a charm. Danny, we don't need sound of the video or whatever, so you can go ahead and play it. But look at our guy, Bob Starkey, finally getting a cut down the net. Shout out Boosie, Boosie also cut down the net at his house. We can't play any of the Boosie
We cannot,
video.
But it's great. You should check it out. I mean, that's like Marv Levy finally getting to cut down a net. I mean, you go to all these, Marv goes to 4 Super Bowls. He never gets to hoist a trophy. This is even more so. This is his 7th Final Four. He never even been to this point.
No, never got
to play in the championship game. You know that meant the world to him, and he's been obviously crucial for the success as well.
For all the ring talk, yes, at the end there, Angel is saying Natty winners are getting a ring. But the reason why they've been doing it all tournament the last 2 games, remember Bob Starkey told them that ring that they Sharpied on their finger, that's his idea.
Yeah.
It became a point of focus, a talisman of sorts, where if you made a bad play or if you made a good play, like he said, no, look at that. Remember, this is who you are. You belong here. You deserve to be here. And just remember that all that matters is the next play, okay? And if you do that, that's how eventually that ring becomes a reality. And that's exactly what happened. Weekend winner, Bob Stark.
I mean, that is... I can't even fathom getting there that many times and not even having the chance to play in that game and then finally ultimately winning that game. Look, and
he had to be convinced to come here. See, I think he had just signed on at Auburn. Coach Mulkey talked about it, and so he was like, it's not really how I do things. I can't just leave, and he did, and he gets to celebrate.
We're going to talk about LSU baseball. Certainly, major weekend for the Tigers on the diamond. They get 2 out of 3 against Tennessee, so we'll save the game in, game out, maybe breakdown. But I want to give a weekend winner to Alec Box Stadium.
Yes.
And the crowds this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even in that Saturday game where it got away from you early, fantastic crowds all weekend long. Thursday night, felt like not a super regional. It almost felt like Omaha. You set the attendance record. You showed up. That's why these players are coming from all over the country to play for LSU.
Yep.
It's why Jay Johnson leaves a place like Arizona. He's a West Coast guy. He was at the College World Series. But you don't get very many opportunities like to be the baseball coach at LSU. He knew that. He realized that. That's why guys like that, that's why players like that came to Baton Rouge to play in that environment. You showed out this weekend. So, weekend winner, the LSU baseball fans at Alex Box Stadium.
What do you got, boys?
Shout out to Brandon Ingram. He had 36 points against the Clippers on Saturday, 8 assists too. He has 9 straight games of 25-plus points. Been big time for the Pelicans, and he actually got some MVP chance on Saturday. Not going to win MVP, but playing really good. So shout out to Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, BI's been incredible, and we will talk more Pelicans a bit coming up as well later. Danny, what you got?
Following the Pelicans train, weekend winner, only half a game behind LA Clippers at 5. So shout out. Pelicans race to the playoffs is real.
Evan Sachs, who's a great memer for all Louisiana sports. You know the meme where the guy's playing video games and he's chilling and then he sits up? Said that's Brandon Ingram when the Pelicans are in a playoff push. I mean, it's a second year in a row where after kind of not fumbling his way through the season, certainly, but, you know, we were starting to doubt BI just a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're intimating, is he soft? You know, are his teammates happy with him? He comes back, he's not getting it done, and now he's, again, just carrying this team, making everything work for this team. Shout out Pels. Shout out Brandon Ingram. Look, why don't we do this to respect the clock a little bit? We'll go to break, and we'll just pick up winners when we get back, and then we still got baseball to get into. We still got Pels. We still got everything else. We got spread lines. Keep it locked to OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to Donaldson Glass and Body. We should have mentioned the standing O at the game Friday night as well for the girls team. One of the cooler moments that you'll see in terms of weekend winners at the box. Donaldson Glass and Body, DGBauto.com. 24/7 emergency towing from Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Also, remember, still your experts in glass repair. It's how they got their start back in 77. But now they do it all. Any mechanical issues that you need, any collision repair that you need, they're the absolute best. They're your one-stop car shop. They can extend the life of your vehicle. And the bottom line is you can trust them to get you back on the road safely, efficiently, and correctly priced, right? They're not going to try to gouge you or any madness like that. DGBauto.com.
T-Bob talks about that's how they got their start in 1977, but they still do it at the elite level, right? They still attention to detail in that glass repair and replacement. That's why they have all the latest technology to be able to do so they can do it all, know who they are, stay true to themselves. DGBauto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
Jimmy on Charles Hannegriff for the Monday edition of Game Time. We're live at Walk-Ons in Brewley. Get you ready for the NCAA Basketball Championship. Monday, live from the Walk-Ons in Brewley. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
To the children of the sky.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, let's get back into small weekend winner. Shout out everybody hanging out with us today. There are many of you. Go ahead and hit the like button if you're watching youtube.com/1045ESPN. It helps us grow the channel and whatnot if you do that. So it is very much appreciated. We'll get in, like you said, somebody's yelling, Zion's back this week. We'll get into all that. We will get into the Pelicans as well a bit later on this hour. I'm trying to find y'all's winners and losers in the chat here. As far as myself, weekend winner, certainly LSU Gymnastics. We mentioned it earlier, but for them to advance to the semifinals and do it with Haley Bryant pulling off a clutch 9.95 on the floor, which forces a tie break with Michigan. They win the tie break because, I guess, Jake, instead of throwing out I think you throw the top-bottom scores when scoring, right? Or maybe you just throw the bottom two. But the tie break means that you have to include all 6 scores, and LSU ends up winning that tie break, and now they advance to the final 8 teams here trying to win a national championship. Again, weekend winner, LSU softball. 5-0 in the Purple and Gold Challenge this weekend alone. BYU was in town. NC State was in town. Louisiana Tech was in town. And LSU has now won 7 in a row on the softball diamond. And then a weekend winner to women's basketball, man. South Carolina and Iowa averaged 5.5 million viewers, a peak of 6.6 million. And even LSU and Virginia Tech, who not a ton of storylines going into that game, right? Like you wouldn't think,
right,
like, especially not compared to the behemoth that was Iowa and South Carolina. Like you wouldn't, I did not think that game would do great numbers. LSU Virginia Tech brings in 3.4 million average in a peak of 5, which is great. Cannot wait to see what the championship numbers were from yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be a big number. Obviously, again, like just smashing every record. We laid it out last week, only continuing to grow. Weekend winner for any fight fans, that's scripted and non-scripted fight fans, because UFC and WWE combined to create $21.4 billion entertainment company. WWE and the company that runs UFC will combine to create that $21.4 billion, and that is the company's, I think, value of UFC right now, $12.1 billion. WWE is $9.3 billion. Just going to be a massive, massive brand, and probably only going to continue to intertwine with each other. You're going to see UFC legends become WWE fighters once they retire. You'll probably see WWE fighters try to become UFC legends like we've seen as well.
Brock Lesnar. Now, it hasn't gone too well from the
After Brock.
WWE to UFC
After Brock. Yep.
Way, but
I don't know wrestling. CM Punk?
Yeah, CM Punk's the one that was so beloved in wrestling. And then he tried to do it for real. And granted, like, look, show toughness, right? I mean, like, he went out there and he took it, but he was not a professional fighter, unfortunately, at the end of the day. Very good wrestler from what I've heard them. In the chat, we got some weekend losers. A lot of people saying Dave Portnoy and Barstool. I don't know if Dave lost a bet or what exactly happened, but actually Brian Bird says weekend losers, Portnoy, Barstool, and Keith Olbermann for their comments about Reese and the Jesters. Yeah, Portnoy went after Angel Reese, which is...
Did he? I hadn't seen any of this.
Yeah. So it was just pretty like... I can't remember the exact wording. It's not very nice. But
Keith
the point
Olbermann.
is... Yeah, I mean, who cares? Like, I don't know. Keith Olbermann lost...
Keith, where's Dan Patrick?
Yeah, he kind of lost his way a while ago. I don't... It is a bit weird, though, coming from two guys that watch and live as many sports as they do, that they somehow think this is crossing some sort of invisible line. I can only imagine that you probably lost some sort of bet or whatnot. Still, weekend loser nonetheless. Mario, do you agree with this? Cyril Snuggler, weekend loser. CJ McCollum taking 2 awful shots late in the fourth, and BI had hit his last 10.
Not great shots, but not a big deal. Take it.
Weekend loser, Hunt, for rather wanting the baseball team winning Thursday night versus the girls basketball team winning on Friday. We do see just how much this ended up meaning. Once you experience it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll go weekend winner. It's got to be Lamont Butler from San Diego State hitting the last second shot as time expires to send his team to a national championship. I can't imagine the feeling FAU had at the end of that game. Felt like they were in control of that game, going to win that game. A 9 seed goes to the championship game, but Lamont Butler had different plans and stayed
talk about that. It was crazy.
Cool, calm, and collected. I'm like, does he know that this clock is running down?
Yeah, he did.
Is he not going to get a shot off? I'm talking about, like, with 2 seconds for you to take 3 more dribbles. I was like, he has no idea where the clock is. No, he did. He's just a lot cooler than we are.
It's a lot of. Did you and your siblings ever play the 10 seconds game?
Oh yeah.
We used to do that all the time. We'd like foul each other, shoot free throws. Like we would do the whole like late game situation.
I'm an older brother that 2.
Yes.
Yeah. 1. I'm like, dude.
When it's in the air every time. Wow. Okay, I didn't realize this. I'd forgotten this. Olbermann called her an effing idiot. Keith.
Dude, Keith.
Relax, bro.
Keith, bro.
Oh my God. Hey, Keith. Chill.
What?
Chill.
An idiot?
You're an idiot. Like that's the only way. That's the only way to take it. If you were calling a college athlete an effing idiot, that's wild. That's wild. Weekend winners. What else did I have in here? Who put this about the Daniel V. Conley guy?
I put that if there was time. I mean, we clowned, or at least I did. I clowned that guy on the show for saying, that LSU, whenever
this
LSU.
This is the UConn beat writer.
Yeah.
That was very upset when LSU jumped UConn. He said, that LSU. Very snarky, very mean. So why is he in winners here?
Oh, he admitted defeat yesterday. He tweeted out LSU 1, me 0.
Okay, there you go. Dude.
Yeah, he had gotten a lot of hate, well deserved, but took the L there, so I respect that.
There is nothing more that I love than the LSU mob on Twitter. Like anybody that even steps a toe out of line, they don't even realize what's coming their way. I don't think Conley fully realized what was coming his way when he tweeted that, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
However long ago it was.
It is.
And now he's still getting it.
It's weird, man. Maybe I'm being an LSU homer a little bit, but national people seem to get so upset whenever LSU becomes good at basketball. Like you saw it with Will Wade. I know stuff happened, but now you're seeing it with Kim Mulkey. But I respect him for taking the L.
I do have an update because I went and searched it out because that made me so angry. My palms were sweating. Keith Olbermann, what a effing idiot, but says the entire thing. So spells it out. Doesn't matter the gender, the sport, the background. You're seconds away from a championship, and you do something like this and overshadow all the good, mindless, classless. And what kind of coach does this team have? Well, he later came back and said, I apologize for being uninformed last night about the backstory on this. I don't follow hoops, college or pro, men or women. I had no idea about Caitlin Clark doing it to someone else. Both were wrong. If you don't know, then shut the F up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
I mean,
if you're going to tweet something and call somebody an effing idiot.
Yeah, you're popping off.
Like, if you, like, be informed on what you're saying. Like, that is so, like, what are you doing? Like, that's just,
and
like.
ignorant.
Just seeing a video and just thinking, man. If you're informed, if you do a deep dive and you have a thought, okay, I get it. If you have no idea and you call someone an idiot, then you got to backtrack. Oh, my bad. I didn't know. Then why are you tweeting?
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. Then why'd you do it in the first place? We mentioned our guy, Mr. Meat and Cheese, earlier.
Great name.
Joey
Great Twitter
Boudreaux, weekend winner. He bet $200 back in November on LSU to win the Natty. He won $10.2K. Well, his parents made the same bet. So they also won a cool $10,000. A $20K payday for the Meat and Cheese family yesterday. That's a lot of sandwiches you can buy, boys. Shout out. Hey, you know who's a weekend winner? Incredible weather. I tweeted before the game, but I mean, you want to talk about perfect crawfish weather? This was the Sunday to go slam irresponsible amounts of crawfish and fixins with your family, and it felt like it was a good omen for some Louisiana magic in the air, and lo and behold, it was. Because that perfect weather translates into a perfect game and a national championship for LSU.
Did you have crawfish this week?
Hell yeah.
How many pounds do we mow down?
I probably did about 5 or 6 yesterday. Nothing too serious. Yeah, I can't. That's a couple. Look, when the weather's this nice, man, wherever you like to go, you just pick it up on the way home from church or whatever, and then backyard. Ooh, just simply.
I mean, 5 or 6 is slight work for you.
Yeah, I mean, but when you order from a restaurant, it's like,
okay, yeah.
You normally get like 5 pounds, right? Yeah. So I'm not. If I'm at like,
you're balling on a budget when you're eating crawfish now.
Yeah, if I'm eating like some, like somebody's burling, I'll eat as many as are put in front of me. Which, shout out my neighbor Matt. He did a great job on Saturday. We had a little Easter egg hunt boil in the neighborhood, and it was fantastic. So big crawfish weekend as a whole. Weekend winners, crawfish season. Yeah, delicious.
And we're going back and forth, and we still got so much to talk about. But I don't get this opportunity on the other show, so I'm certainly going to take it here. Just weekend winner, just LSU. Honestly,
like we started the show.
Just those 3 letters. LSU. What a weekend. What a last couple of weeks. What a run right now. LSU and LSU athletics and the brand of LSU. And love them or hate them, it doesn't matter. They're on your thought process.
Yeah.
Baseball, gymnastics, softball, women's basketball, football. I mean, beach volleyball.
Yeah.
We even talked about them.
Track had a great weekend this weekend.
Everyone, like those 3 letters, and Coach Mulkey said it, like when those 3 letters are said, you know exactly who people are talking about, no matter where you're at. Those 3 letters only mean Louisiana State University. And so here on this program, the team we talk about the most, the school we talk about the most, weekend winner, monthly winner, yearly winner right now, they are in their bag. And it's only, in my opinion, going to continue to grow as gymnastics still has a chance. Baseball has all these sports still have a chance to win their own championships.
Yeah, Coach Mulkey has set the bar to an impossibly high bar, but she had an impossibly high bar that she already met. Let's see if anybody else can. Shout out Scott Woodward, weekend winner. He's on heater. Last 2 here. Bilbo Baggins in the chat says weekend winner. Boosie cutting down the net outside his house like he won the championship. That was very funny. I think he was also calling, Boosie not one to shy away from the trash talk. I think was yelling for Larry Bird to come get his daughter. Talking about kindergarten, but of course Larry Bird, another very famous trash talker. And my non-for-it weekend winner, my 9-year-old pitched in a game for the first time, had 2 innings with no hits and no walks to go with 5 Ks. Okay, dude. Shout out, dude. Congrats, man. That's going to be a good feeling. I have yet to experience any sporting success through my children. The Unicorn Sliders got dominated again on Friday. I never won a soccer game, losing everyone about 30-0. So it's been a couple years now, a couple seasons of, no dubs. We'll get there one day, though. I'm gonna celebrate that first dub.
It's all about
the championship.
The process.
Yep, you gotta trust the process.
It's all about the process. It's all about building till you get to that point.
All right. Okay, I think now we can finally put a bow on the Natty a bit for today, though I don't know. The conversation can always kind of naturally gravitate back towards that. It's the impossible pull of a national championship. It's impossible to ignore. But I do want to talk a little LSU baseball, as they had a massive series against Tennessee. Remember, they'd lost 6 games in a row. And granted, we got a lot of fun celebrating on Friday and with that game 1 taking place on Thursday. But let's look at the series as a whole a bit when we get back here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Donsville Glass and Body, dgbauto.com, dgbauto.com. Donsville Glass and Body, your one-stop car shop for everything you need. I'm not supposed to be doing DGB right now. I already did that.
Well, we love you, DGB.
I do.
We also love Central Plumbing.
Love Central Plumbing.
And centralplumbing.org.
Yeah.
Look, we love the fact that we can call 24/7, 225-925-8552. There's a lot of things that I can do around the house.
Yeah.
Plumbing, it's not one of them. In fact, I'm not even going to try, because that's why the experts at Central Plumbing will come in 24/7, give you that emergency service. But T-Bob, not only in emergencies.
No. If you want any bathroom remodels, maybe you want a tankless water heater like JCast, so you never run out of hot water. That is all there for you through Central Plumbing. If you are do-it-yourself, you can get all the parts you need from the showroom. But again, like Jake said, just call 225-925-8552. Let them fix your plumbing issue, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
It's on. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 recap in LSU and Tennessee on the Diamond, and the Lady Tigers season will be done. Hopefully there's a natty involved. Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 on Monday, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I'm just looking at Colin Hurley's Twitter. You put me on this here, Mario. I'm trying to find the Olbermann tweet to see exactly what he tweeted to Olbermann. I will say this, Colin Hurley, he's an LSU football commit quarterback. Where's Colin from again? Does anybody remember off the top of your head?
I'm sending the tweet to the group.
But either way, Hurley puts it on for LSU. May not be here on campus quite yet, but he's like constantly recruiting on Twitter, celebrating this national championship all over the place. He was in it last night tweeting.
So
I don't know what Hurley's career is going to hold, but
Christian,
he's a
but I'm
real...
trying to think what town in Florida.
So that's what I'm saying. He's not even from Louisiana. And
Jacksonville.
And he is...
I kept wanting to say Gainesville. I don't know why. I knew that wasn't right. It's in Jacksonville.
Man, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, I'm looking at his Twitter right now. He puts it on for the team for sure. I'm going to be great to see what he does when he eventually gets here. Okay, shout out to... We mentioned it was a crazy weekend of winning, right? All over the place. And although it did end up getting a bit lost in the shuffle, right? Because Friday night, the baseball game was going head-to-head. Actually, let's get the video of the standing O from the crowd Friday night at the box, because that was great. But Friday night, there was a baseball game at basically the exact same time. And, you know, it's funny, Jake. I thought, okay, I can watch the girls' game, and then I'm sure we'll be in, like, the 6th inning of the baseball game. But in this new sped-up age in which we live, like,
I know.
It kind of, like, once the Virginia Tech game ended, baseball was pretty much at an end. Now, I got to catch Griffin Herring coming in and giving you massive, massive innings down the stretch. Having to get 4 outs in that 9th inning due to a little error at first that looked like maybe it was going to cause disaster. Herring said, no, I'll just strike out the next day again. So I'm not going to lie. I did not get to lock in Friday or Saturday as much for the baseball games as I did on Thursday night. But in the end, all that matters is that Jay Johnson's squad gets it done against a top 10 Tennessee team, a Tennessee team that they had lost 6 games in a row to. Yeah. And now 3 weeks of baseball, 3 top 15 series wins, 2 top 10 series wins. This LSU team, look, it's not perfect, right? We can have conversations about Thatcher Hurd, who maybe becomes your day 3 starter, what they need to improve there. But the bottom line is that they continue to do what you have to do, which is win 2 of 3 every single weekend. And when you look at the competition that they're going against, that is nothing to just turn your nose up at.
It's not. And do you want them to get a sweep here? So, yeah, I get it. But you go on the road, you win 2 of 3, and then you play 2 top 10 baseball teams, you win 2 of 3. So I think, you know, asking for a sweep in one of these, yeah, you want one because you felt like you were close to getting one in the first 2 weekends. Oh, look, you don't get one. Those are coming. But this was the portion of LSU's baseball schedule, T-Bob, that we laid out. We're like, oh, man. A couple of weeks ago, even with this number 1 team, even with this team knowing they can beat anybody in the country 2 of 3, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You go out there, you do what you have to do because it's the SEC. It's not going to get easy. You still have one more of those series that we're talking about. You got to go on the road against the number 6 team in the country, South Carolina. But, you know, after that, you're going to have home series. It looks way
nicer than it looked before
Kentucky,
the game.
Kentucky is a legit team, by the way. So you have them, but that's in the box, right? So you get that team. Ole Miss, not the team we thought they would be. Good, yes. Great, don't know yet.
Are they good? What did they do this last weekend?
Good-ish.
I mean, 0-6 start to the SEC would not equate to good in my book quite yet.
I know what you're saying, but, you know, they're going to have quality players, and they're still, you know, reigning national champions.
They're probably underplaying how – yes,
but
you're right.
that does feel different than it did. They won 1 this weekend, so I think they went 1-2 this weekend, just like Mississippi State did. So Mississippi schools are both 1-8 in SEC play. So after you get South Carolina and a Kentucky team, again, that's good, but you get them at home, so you feel good about that. Then you get that Ole Miss team, and then you get Alabama in the box, and then you got Auburn. So then you get Mississippi State in the box as well. You don't have Florida. You don't have Vanderbilt here on the schedule this year. Would you like to play those teams to be competitive? Yeah, you probably would, but also you don't have those squads. So you're avoiding a team in Florida right now. It's 24-5. You're avoiding a team in Vanderbilt that's 23-5. And again, like I know Jay Johnson, you know Jay Johnson, we all know Jay Johnson. He'd love to play those series, but the schedule does lay out really nice for the Tigers. Yes, Kentucky is 25-3. That is a real baseball team. Again, though, you get that one at home. The schools that you have to play on the road, struggling a little bit, losing records in conference play, right? You've got Auburn that's 3-6. You've got Ole Miss, again, that's 1-8. Mississippi State at home is 1-8. Georgia, you got that one on the road. They're 1-8.
Yeah.
So your road matchups, you still feel really good about, and the teams that are going to be really good teams, past this weekend because you're on the road to South Carolina, you feel really good about because they are at home. And so the Tigers' schedule is lining up where you're going to be able to make a big run here at the final part of their SEC schedule if they continue to be the team that we've seen them be so far in 3 weeks of SEC play.
So I'm trying to think. When was the 31st? Was that Friday? Right? And then Saturday was April Fool's Day? I'm being really dumb here. Today's the 3rd, so that checks out, right? Okay, so whatever. I'm trying to figure out what is Dylan Cruz's hitting streak up to, right? Leah Van tweeting on Friday that he had just eclipsed the 25-game mark, which means he got another hit on Saturday. So it was 26.
The record, I believe, is T-Dub at 33.
So, and he went 4-4 in that loss on Saturday. So, look, certainly loss on Saturday is disappointing. You got to figure out how to get more out of your day 3 starter. There's just too much success early on. On Friday, I definitely enjoyed the fight out of Ty Floyd, right? Giving up a couple of solo shots, but continue to bang around, keep it close, allow his team to do what they do, which is hit the ball. And then I love what you saw out of the pen to go ahead and lock it up and give you that series win. So you're not too, it's not the uber important, all important kind of stressful rubber match going into day 3. I mean, the team just look, they're awesome. These SEC standings are kind of shocking though, and I just saw the time. We gotta go to break. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour 2 of OTB.
Whoa!
Yeah, off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call Hudco Roofing.
Give us a call 364-1007 and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded.
Jimmy and Charles Hannegriff for the Monday edition of Game Time. We're live at Walk-Ons in Brewley, getting you ready for the NCAA Basketball Championship. Monday, live from the Walk-Ons in Brewley. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So it's bad by me. Over 2 today, but look, every day sometimes you struggle on the plate.
Look, T-Bob, I'm going to take up for you here, bud. Not every day do you get to celebrate a national championship in a sport that you've never won a national championship. And so, look, clock integrity, that can go fly a kite today, okay? We're here. We're talking. We might come up against the clock. I'll take it. You don't even have to take it. I'll take it. It's fine.
Angel Reese, now the D1 record holder for most double-doubles in a year. 34th double-double in 36 games. 15 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists yesterday. Great stat line. Kind of a relatively quiet one for Angel, shockingly. But, again, one of my favorite parts of yesterday's game was just watching her bang on the offensive glass. Like, as soon as that ball goes up, she's just out here fighting, bullying, and got herself that record, got herself that ring. And then, I mean, we probably haven't talked enough about Alexis Morris. And I think it's easy to get lost in her whole story about comeback. But, I mean, again, the dominance that she displayed in that second half, using a portion of the game that in this current age of basketball is supposed to be defunct. The mid-range game, right? Also, Brandon Ingram against the Clippers didn't have a single three.
Not one.
Every single shot he took, Jake, was mid-range. And that's not supposed to work anymore. And how much did Ingram drop? 31?
36.
36 without a single three-pointer. So watching Alexis Morris, like you said, Jake, not only D-up Caitlin Clark and play really good defense in that second half, but then watch what she did on the offensive side of the ball, scoring or assisting on 27 of LSU's points in the second half. It was fantastic. And so, now the Bayou Barbie got a ring. Alexis Morris just plays angry all the time. She got a ring. Just so many heroic performances to point out. And we didn't mention weekend winners, Coach Mulkey's outfits. The semifinal pink flower thing was the most, it's like the old VH1 pickup artist, right? They talk about peacocking. It's a way to pick up people at the bar. You wear like a funny top hat or like something like that. It was the most peacocking outfit I've ever seen my entire life. And do you know the confidence, the swagger, and like if you're wondering how Coach is able to control and get the best out of all these major personalities, it's because she's the type of personality that can wear that to a game where if you lose, Jake, you're sitting there doing post-game in that pink flowery, crazy jacket, and then she saved the best for last with the shiny, well-fit, tailored-up tiger stripe suit for the national championship game. I mean, out of control, dude.
I love it. And because like if we saw Coach Mulkey like just out and about, like obviously like she would have like some LSU gear on, but it wouldn't be crazy. But this is a part of who she is on game day, and it's almost like a switch gets turned on. It's like, okay, this is game day. Yeah. It's like this is game day mode. Like, that's what we're going into. And so I'm not pulling that off, but she does it. And she's done it all tournament long. It becomes a story and then becomes part of your program, but becomes something that attracts people to your team.
Well, most people are afraid to do it too because it just applies extra pressure in a world where you don't need any extra pressure, right? Because people are going to clown you if you lose. They're going to make fun of you. But again, what do you care about clowns clowning you, okay? Kim Mulkey does not, and that much is clear. All right, we still got the Pelicans to talk about. I still want to look at those SEC baseball standings. We got to hold the Mayo coming up with spread lines. Hour 3 of OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hit the like button. Go to Rejuve Me Medical. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You go to Rejuve Me today, you're going to feel younger and better. I don't care if you're 10, 20, 30, 40, male or female. Aging happens to us all at different rates. And the best part about Rejuve Me is, Jake, it's not just, oh, we're going to shoehorn you into this plan. No, we're going to draw your labs. You're going to get that free consultation. You're going to figure out, okay, what does your body tell them? Where's it deficient? Where's it need help? And what can they do to accomplish those goals? Maybe it's HRT. Maybe it's not. Ask about metabolization optimization, the semaglutide while you're in there. It's a new treatment that everybody seems really, really high on right now. You're going to love the results. Go to Rejuve Me Medical. Got a few locations out there.
They do. And the newest one is in Shreveport, 4 total, Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, and again in Shreveport now. But go to the website, get that consultation set up, RejuveMeMedical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Monday, April 3rd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 89. Coming up on OTB-OT, Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15 for a new edition of Spreadlines. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTB-OT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let me go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Championship Monday, rolling right along. And once again, I know I've said a lot this show, but I will remind you, if you want to welcome back this championship team, this LSU women's basketball program, the Conquering Heroes, that we've been celebrating all morning long here. This team full of massive personalities. Well, you can do that by being at the PMAC at 12:30 today. I wish I could be there. I told you the other day, remember when Coach Mulkey thought the send-off was going to be rainy, and then I brought the girls there. It was a beautiful day. Said it was a good omen at the time. Beautiful crawfish weather this weekend. Said it was a good omen, and lo and behold, look at what gone done and happened. One thing we didn't touch on, I thought it was really cool seeing the emotion out of Coach Mulkey, because you figure, look, if it's your fourth championship, I don't think it becomes old hat, right? You're still incredibly excited. You're still, you're pumped and everything. But she was obviously deeply moved, right? And I think it's because when she makes that move from Baylor, it's so unprecedented, leaving a place that you've already built to the top to take over a place that's kind of at the bottom of where it's used to be. And you catch so much flack for it. You're paid so much money, which is great, right? But it's kind of like a twist on what Uncle Ben tells Peter, right? With great power comes great responsibility. With great money comes great expectation, right? And so, yes, you are paid a lot, which is great. But at the end of the day, the only way, Jake, that this investment, that this move, that all of it was going to be justified was if she brought home a national championship, something else she had never done before. And national championships just inherently are near impossible to win. Only one team gets to do it every single year. So it was an impossibly high bar from the beginning. And so I think when you see those tears out of Coach there, you are seeing, excitement, relief, gratitude, the emotions and adrenaline come down of a race well run. And also I think it's impossible to ignore the element of the whole reason why she came home in the first place was to bring a championship back to the state of Louisiana. LSU may not be her home school, but the boot is her home state, and there's one flagship in the state. And she knew what it would mean to this state and the girls who, like her, grew up loving basketball. She knew what it mean to the game here. And now you're going to have, Jake, thanks to what she is doing right now, you are going to have an entire, and you're already seeing it, look around, talk to your friends who have kids, you have daughters, just look around. You're going to see an entire generation of girls infected with the game of basketball. The same way that the LSU men's team probably did in the early 90s when football was down. The same way that Skip Bertman, what he did with the baseball team in the 90s, created, a full-on generation of massive baseball fans that continue to be passed down. Coach Mulkey is building that for women's basketball. And so when I see her tears, I feel like I see all of that narrative all kind of just gushing out of her eyes in that moment. It's very sincere, and it's very fulfilling thing even to watch.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to her on Tuesday like we do every single week, because I want to ask her, like, did this one feel like the first one? And I don't mean that disrespectful to Baylor. Like, you won 3 championships there. Baylor certainly is always going to have a special place for the entire Mulkey family. Like, that's going to be a place that she'll love forever, and she should. The success that they had there, obviously. But to come back to your home state and to come back and take over a situation, the team won 9 games, and to do it in 2 years, like, I wonder if this truly felt like the first one. Like, because it's hard to
I get
once
what
you
you're
win
saying.
2,
Yeah.
once you win 3, like, and you win 4, it's like, what's that feeling like?
Mm-hmm.
But I have to imagine this one felt different than 2 and 3.
I agree. I mean, I agree completely for everything we just said. I mean, the amount, like, again, the amount of pressure you put on yourself making that switch when you're at your peak, when you didn't have to. This is different than Brian Kelly. Okay, Brian Kelly switches because he's maxed out Notre Dame. Okay, he feels like, you know what, I've done everything I can here, and it's just at the end of the day, there's just not enough potential in the soil. I think I'm capable, but I don't know if the school is, right? And that was not the case with Coach Mulkey. She had already been there 3 times. She knew she was capable. She knew the school was capable, and she took a huge risk leaping into the unknown, into a program that had not ever won a Final Four game. And yes, they had incredible runs in the past, but they had not lived up to that potential for a long time. And now through expert roster building, taking advantage of NIL, the portal. I mean, look, we'll talk about Gordon McKernan here in the live read in a little bit, but, like, don't ignore the impact that anybody who's striking. Now, Gordon's a sponsor, obviously, so I'm showing him a little love here, but anybody who is engaging as a local business, engaging in NIL marketing, helping to pay these athletes, helping to attract players here, helping to let them ply their trade in college without feeling the pressure of going to get a professional job of sorts. It can pay dividends, a huge dividends in terms of wins and losses on the college level, and that's exactly what you saw right here. So,
I mean, when there is a buy-in, when there is someone that cares about whatever the sport is, like when there's a true buy-in and you get the resources, it's amazing to see where a program can go.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you don't care about it, NIL doesn't matter. If you don't care about it, transfer portal doesn't matter. And I'm talking about from every aspect. I'm talking about leadership, coaches, players, fans. Like, there has to be that buy-in. And LSU fans, if you show them that you have a desire to be good, if there is a desire to put a winning product on the court, diamond field, whatever, they're going to support it. Do they demand excellence? Yeah, we do. But that should be the case.
Yep.
Because you have a place that can reach the excellence if you just have the desire to be an excellent team.
And, I mean, you got to, like, whatever. Like, yeah, fans should demand excellence. Do I appreciate when a fan base is so real that they're like tortured losers, but they still support the team? Yeah, we all can appreciate that. But at the end of the day, man, we're all trying to make it, right? We all have limited income. We all have limited time to spend with entertainment. Like, you got to earn it. And this LSU team did. And what's great is this is not the place where they're going to be checked out. This is to your point, Jake. This is not a place where people are going to be checked out until the championship. No, you set a PMAC a record for a crowd, just a few weeks ago, like in the middle of the conference season against Tennessee on a Sunday. So, no, at least here, if you build it, they will come. Okay? If you win, people will show up and they will support you. Do we have that clip from the Friday baseball game? I didn't put a link. I just told you to look it up. But let me know when you have it with sound, because this is pretty representative of that, as this is when it was announced that LSU had beaten Virginia Tech. It's in the middle of the baseball game, a very intense, very important baseball game, and the crowd gives a huge standing ovation.
They've got 8 hits, but they've barreled up quite a few baseballs. The crowd, you hear the noise, they anticipate, and it's over. LSU moving on to the national championship game, winning 79-72 over Virginia Tech. Kim Mulkey looking for a rematch with South Carolina if the Gamecocks can do their part in game 2.
Is that? Year 2. takes LSU to their first ever national championship game.
I wonder what the Tennessee hitter was singing. He was like, it's just a foul ball. Why is everybody so hyped right now? But it was a big moment. I mean, right? Top of the eighth, 2-run game, very intense. And the crowd, as soon as they saw on their feet, and you saw what it meant to the team. There were great quotes from Alexis Morris talking about how, man, she just loves LSU, and she feels like the fan base and everybody really has their back, and was specifically referencing watching that standing O at the baseball game. Very cool for who's ever in that crowd.
Lars actually brings up a nice question inside the chat, and it's always one. He says, "Is Kim Mulkey still a lady texter?" Yeah, she'll always have that. Like that was her.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a player, she was a lady texter. That program was, it was one of the blue bloods, of women's college basketball. So she'll always be that, but now she's also a part of both.
Yep.
Just like she's a part of Baylor history as well. So I don't think you necessarily lose that ever. Certainly when you're a player, that's different as a coach. Now you're, a part of all these fan bases. It's a great question. And also, like, she wanted to be the head coach at Louisiana Tech. I mean, we don't have to get into that, but like, she wanted to be the head coach there. She wasn't given that opportunity. She goes to Baylor for 20 plus years, wins 3 natties. But, you're never going to forget where you came from. And she was a lady texter. And obviously they had great success there, in that run in the 80s. And it continued really, for a very, very long time.
Kim Mulkey is a winner and a champion and a Louisianian is what Kim Mulkey is. I mean, again, I don't actually know. Did she win a high school state championship? Certainly won in college at Natty as a player. Won a Natty at Tech as an assistant coach. Wins the Natties at Baylor as a head coach. Now at LSU. Don't forget that she also won that gold medal back in the Olympics. Oh yeah, and Michael Jordan did her introduction speech for the Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, it's so funny, Jake, because Brian Kelly's resume is amazing, Jay Johnson's amazing, but nobody even holds a candle to what Coach Mulkey's bringing to bear.
You asked if she won a high school state championship. She led her Hammond high school basketball team to 4 consecutive state championships. She was also the high school valedictorian with a perfect 4.0 GPA. So she won a championship.
Where do you get the drive from? Like at a certain point, you're supposed to be satisfied, right? And no, she is eternally dissatisfied. Wow. So 4 state championships. In all these natties.
And this uber alpha energy that is so authentic. And I can tell you, because y'all have heard it when we talked to her on Tuesdays, like she knows my wife Katie's uncle very well. He was in their wedding. She knows my father-in-law very well. They were both star football players at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law was there, and my mother-in-law, shout out Nance, was a cheerleader for Tech as well. But they, on campus, they talk about the energy she had in 1982.
Yeah.
Like, she would come into the athletic training building, and there'd be a football player on the table, and Tech was winning Division or 1AA national championships, and so they were
really?
Talk of town in Ruston, and there wouldn't be a training table available, and she'd be like, "Hey, scoot on over, got to get this treatment there." So she's always had that, and she carried herself that way. Again, in 1982, when women's basketball wasn't getting the proper credit, she didn't care. She knew who she was, and that's just always been who she's always been.
Dude, how sick are the old Texter uniforms
with the sleeves and the collar?
Well, it's funny because they
kept them for a long time too.
So was that a women's basketball thing, or was that specifically a Louisiana Tech thing?
I think others had it, but they kept it longer than anybody I remember.
I'm sure a few years ago I thought it would have looked lame, but I don't know. Style comes back around and it looks pretty damn cool.
It's like a shooting shirt. You know what I'm saying? Shooting shirts used to have collars and sleeves, but they kept it for a long time.
And the pigtails. That is a young-looking little blonde girl to have the amount of energy coming out of her right there, and now she is transformed into the alpha of all alphas, the alpha on campus. Okay, pressure's on. Jay Johnson and Brian Kelly. Year 2, Coach Mulkey doesn't set the bar. Now, granted, she's the only one with Natty's to her name anyway. So, arguably she had the most special to live up to. But, hey, let's see what y'all got.
Honestly, yes. Yes and yes. The pressure's on for every coach that has LSU on their chest.
No doubt.
Because there's a standard being set right now that it's excellence or damn close to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
you look at just, and we don't have to lay out sports. You know the sports, and outside of men's basketball and Coach McMahon, the job he took over, like this is going to, it's going to be.
He's got rope. He's got
It's going to
time.
be this year. Like this year, the second year, the third year is really going to be first and second for him for what he took over. Well, there's pressure. You better win, and you better win at a higher clip, and that's okay with me. Like to set that standard of here's what we're going to be, here's what we expect. We are giving you every single tool to put in your tool belt to be successful. Now go be successful.
Good day to be Scott Woodward. It just seems like, there's so much hype surrounding him, like coming back as AD. And I always am of the opinion that stuff can be a bit overblown, but I guess, I'm eating crow in this situation because everything feels like it's just moving in a really positive direction as far as athletics are concerned. And it's been proved before, right? Athletic success does not come at a cost to academics. In fact, consistent, sustained athletic success can lead to increased academics and investment in academics and out-of-state tuition and all these sorts of things that have been proven through the years. So.
And also, there's like when you can have an athletic department that's all moving in the same direction.
Aligned.
Like, hey.
Alignment.
Right? That just helps out because it doesn't allow you to rest on what you're currently doing.
Yeah.
You're always striving each and every day to be better, right? To get to the mountaintop. Like if we're number 10, we want to be number 5. If we're number 5, we need to get to number 1. You're always motivating yourself. And and I hope we're saying like the pressure doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like when you feel that pressure around you, you're going to see, like Macho Man always says, the cream rises to the top. So like you're seeing that. You are seeing that right now in every athletic
the Kim rises
venue.
to the top.
The what?
The Kim.
Oh, the Kim.
Yeah, you like that?
Like in every athletic venue right now on campus, like you're seeing that. You're seeing the buy-in from fans, from players, from coaches, and it's a great thing to see. It's only, in my opinion, certainly for women's basketball, only going to grow.
Yeah.
Like that's not something we've had time to talk about today because, we're celebrating the present, not the future right now. But this is only, like, recruiting is through the roof right now for Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, it's all ahead of schedule.
Like, she's bringing in 4 ballers.
It's all ahead of schedule.
Like, so you'll still do the diving into the transfer portal, but it won't be 9 new players coming in every single year.
Yeah. In South Carolina, you got to still catch these hands, too. Okay? You escaped this year. You need some revenge for next year. All right, when we get back, let's talk to our guy, Hold the Mayo, here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. We love All-Star Toyota. They're right there off of Airline Highway. The people are the best, right? Go see Aaron Piku today. Let him start your journey towards getting that vehicle that you and your family need. You can always just go to the website if you want to kind of explore some options by yourself. Look at the excellent deals they have. You can actually even order your car fully customized on the site if you want. But I prefer dealing face-to-face. Go see them off of Airline Highway today, and I guarantee, whether you end up leasing, buying, renting, whatever, you will be satisfied with All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
All right, spring break is coming up next week for your boy. Now, I don't know when it's coming for you, but it's coming up, okay? I don't know if maybe you're going to Cabo, maybe you're going somewhere, but if you're going like to Disney or if you're going somewhere here that's drivable, go rent a Toyota today. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage.
Hey, it's Hunt. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 recap in LSU and Tennessee on the Diamond, and the Lady Tigers season will be done. Hopefully there's a natty involved. Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 on Monday, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Spread lines with Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. Presented by DraftKings.
Yo, what's happening? Deb Snow, our boy. Hold the Mayo, atmsports.com/shop. Spread lines every single Monday. Deb, what up, brother?
What's up? What's up, man? We some champions. That's what's up.
That's what's up. That's right.
That's what's up. Real quick, I just wanted to say it, man, because I haven't had a chance to really say anything in person about it. But if you want drama, you want emotion, you want viewership, whether you agree or disagree, you watch it. You're talking.
Yeah.
This is everything great for lady hoops.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's a no-brainer. And to not realize that it's denying it senselessly, in my opinion. Now we want classy basketball, which I said that in the chat earlier. I never heard of that.
Yeah, go to a playground. Go watch people playing just like at the park. Shit, there's no clay. Everybody's going after each other constantly.
Dude, if I go walk over to Delgado Park right now and I hit a game-winning shot, Mid-City, all of Mid-City, New Orleans is going to hear about it. I'm bringing it straight to the internet. I just don't understand it because it's weird because I think it is like what it always has been, and it's the big market media hates when Louisiana's thriving, bro. It's just the truth. They hate how we celebrate. They hate our personality. They hate how we talk. But they want to use our culture whenever convenient.
Yeah.
And that's the key right there.
True. And Dev, you are quickly becoming one of the kind of faces of that culture. How was Hogs this weekend, man? I'm not going to lie. It definitely made it a little easier this Friday night, getting to watch all this winning, and I had fun at my daughter's T-ball game, and I didn't feel awful waking up Saturday, which wasn't bad, but I had a little bit of FOMO, dude. How was it?
I mean, it was amazing, bro. It was. I got there at 2:30 on Friday, and I was just getting infused with barbecue and alcohol from the second I walked in. I made it 2 hours, and I had to go back home, take a nap on the couch, and then get back out there. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got knocked out by the meat sweats.
Yeah, the barbecue in your gut.
Yeah,
you know?
It'll do it every time. Actually, that's true. I guess ironically, I barely eat when I'm at Hogs, which is not the correct way to do it. And you can't do it that way because, well, you've made an empire out of eating, right? So everybody, he's like, oh, the food guy. Yeah, you got to taste this. Yeah. Look at this effort, right? How much did you hear that on Friday?
Oh man, and it's I'm going to eat it, and I got a guy literally right next to me, just looking at me eat it, waiting for me to say something, and I'm like, bro, it's good.
Yeah,
really good.
Oh man. Hey, shout out to Hogs though. $3.6 million raised for kids and families who are battling, life-threatening situations, and they got to have places to stay. Those Hogs houses are they do incredible work. So great job by Hogs. Absolutely love it. Okay, we got a few different spread lines we can get to. I want to start here though, Deb, because I love living vicariously through people with this, but I didn't get as much of it this year. I don't exactly know why that is. How was WrestleMania this weekend?
So Saturday morning I had to drive to Florida to go to a bachelor party. So I briefly got to watch Saturday. I'm with 20 dudes who you got 5 minutes to get their attention, and WrestleMania wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Final Four game was on. I was trying so hard, bro, to hype it up, and they just weren't having it. No. So I mean, look, it was mids. I got to watch it a little bit last night. It was mids. It is what it's been the last few years. But the big news is Vince McMahon supposedly again. Now Vince is good at this. He's stepping down. He's retiring. Yeah. They sold it to Endeavor. Endeavor's the same people that own UFC. So
that mustache on Vince. By the way, Danny just put up the picture. If you're watching online, Vince McMahon looked in the mirror, said, "How can I look even more comically evil than my reputation?"
He looks like a bad guy on Pink Panther or something.
It's legitimately insane. That, I mean, you want to talk about, you tell people to lean into it. He is leaning into the criticism by creating this evil man, little thin-lipped mustache as he, because for those that don't know, I mean, okay, here's my understanding of the Vince situation, Deb. He got forced out for some, have some hush money payments and other kind of maybe sexual harassment stuff came to light, right? So he kind of got forced out, but he retained his spot on the board. And
he's still the executive chairman.
Yeah, so he stepped down though as CEO or whatever. Stephanie takes over. Well, at some point he gets a little upset. He says, "You know what? No, I'm coming back." Stephanie steps down. He puts himself back in charge through some boardroom shenanigans, and then he engineers the sale of the company so that he gets the last laugh and he gets the massive payday, as UFC and WWE are both owned by the same parent corporation now.
Yeah, he looks like the newspaper guy from Spider-Man. That's
J. Jonah Jameson.
That's the look that I got right away when I saw that.
The Pink Panther's actually really, really damn good. That's a little old school, I'm sure, for a lot of listeners, but that is just, again, comic evil. If you're casting comic evil business guy, this is exactly how you make him look.
And then the other problem with wrestling right now is the champion, the heavyweight champion, it's Roman Reigns, and that's cool. But he's been the champion for 939 days.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. I thought the Lesnar stuff got tired. That's crazy. It's too long.
939 days.
I mean,
bro.
I remember
like,
Goldberg's undefeated streak back in the day, and that was awesome. But even that did not reach 900 days as the belt holder.
Goldberg's streak was beautiful because every week, and we didn't really have the internet back then, but every week the streak got like 20 numbers higher. So it's like how many matches did Goldberg wrestle between, Tuesday and Friday?
He was doing a lot of jobbing, right? A lot of local jobbing, not on TV, dude. Just out there grinding. Just building it up to 117-0 or whatever it was.
I don't know if you ever went to any of the house shows, but it was funny.
Oh,
I never went to a house show.
Oh,
man.
Lakefront Arena, baby. Lakefront Arena.
Yeah, Hirsch Coliseum in Shreveport. They would come and like somebody would join NWO and you'd be like, oh man, hey, they're gonna NWO. And then like the next Monday on Raw, it's like it didn't happen. Like the guy wasn't in NWO. I'm like, wait a minute. I just saw you at the Hirsch. You put up the NWO shirt. I mean, you were doing the Too Sweet with Scott Hall. Like, what the hell? It's like, no, that didn't really happen. That was a house show.
It doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's why house shows were great, though. Like, they literally did anything to make people happy at house shows, whether it was in the storyline or not.
Oh,
you
that
know?
is cool.
They were going to pull it out.
The closest thing I ever got to a house show was I went to one Raw in my life, and it was in the Georgia Dome, and it was after Starrcade, when Goldberg lost or whatever.
Starrcade.
And it was when the new NWO was formed. Remember Kevin Nash pokes Hulk Hogan in the chest. They beat up Goldberg. They chain him up with the handcuffs. They spray paint NWO on his chest. That's when the TV broadcast ended. I was still there. What nobody saw on TV was the Atlanta Falcons came out to save Goldberg. Jesse the Hammer Tuggle led a group of Falcons out there, and they speared the entirety of the NWO and freed Goldberg from his handcuffs. And because he was a former NFL guy,
Falcon,
Georgia Bulldog, Atlanta Falcon back in the day. That was pretty cool though to get to see. But no, I've never seen a house show, unfortunately.
I'll give one more quick story. We go see a WCW house show. My dad, who was a policeman, was doing security for the event. So we stayed a little bit later. Well, we get in the car. It's a school night, whatever. But we're going home. We pull up to a red light, and there's like this van full of like famous wrestlers. Oh. Sting was the one that stood out the most. Me and my brother like looking at him.
Was his face painted?
No.
Okay.
That'd been pretty cool. But like they're asking like, hey, man, y'all got a good spot to eat over here? Like, y'all welcome to come. Like, we'd love like some extra security, like for our meal or whatever. And my dad tells him where to go, but he's like, we got to get home. We got school tomorrow. I'm like, no, Joey, of all the things we get away with here, you're not going to go eat with Sting?
Damn.
What are we doing?
Damn, dude. That's a missed opportunity. Where'd you tell me to go eat? Do you remember?
Probably Johnny's. It was in 318.
Hell yeah. Go get some Johnny's Pizza, baby. Can't beat it. What did I have Saturday? Johnny's Pizza for the kids.
There you go.
Dev, we haven't gotten to talk about him yet because LSU women's basketball, obviously a natty, just rightfully so, has a gravitational pull. But how about the Pels, man? Second year in a row, when things get bad, when you got to have it. And this year even better because they're actually above 500 and they're having to have it, right? So they're having to play better. Like the Pelicans, though, really saving this season from the bitter disappointment that it felt like just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I think the key number is one game now. And Mario can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Pels need to win one game and they end the play in no matter what.
Oh, really? Is that right, Mario?
Yeah, top 10. That's right.
Oh, okay.
The Mavericks have really fallen off. Mavs lost again last night.
I know. I love it. Weekend losers.
And then BI is just on some Jon Snow stuff right now, man. Yep. Just doing whatever it takes. 36, 31, 26, 29, 32, 30. I mean, it's just all consistent basketball from BI. And, I mean, I know we've heard this a million times, but I'm expecting Zion to be back. So that's just the facts, That's where we at. So I just want a series.
Are we at our 2-week update right now?
Bruh, I don't even know.
It's supposed to be Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, boys. Get ready. Dude.
He's coming. I mean, I just want to make it to a playoff series, man. Let's get to a playoff series. I'll be honest. I want the Nuggets. If I know Jokic is incredible, but I mean, you take Jokic away, which I'm not saying we will. Maybe we can control him. It's a pretty average team. We showed that. What was that last week?
Yeah,
we beat the hell out of them. So
we still owe them for taking J.R. Smith back in the day.
Yeah, and we owe them for just like all those. Just man, they beat the piss out of us. You know what I'm saying? In so many years, bro. Like we owe them for that. So give me the Nuggets, man.
Hell yeah. I mean, again, if they can make a
I want
series,
the Suns, by the way. I want the Suns again. That I know they got KD, but I want the Suns.
Wait, so yeah, so I saw this the other day. So Suns are 6-0 with KD right now, and teams that have KD on them where KD started are something like 25-3 in the last 28 or something.
Yeah.
So Kevin Durant's on a bit of a war path right now. I don't know if I want to see the Suns round one. I might not feel too good about that. Hey, what do we think about this, boys? Saints, one of the 4 teams eligible for Hard Knocks.
I did see that.
Wait, what was that, Jacob? You don't like it?
No. I said I saw that. So, I don't want to get my hopes up, though. Y'all know me. I love Hard Knocks. Like, the Detroit Lions last year, they set the bar back up because it had fallen off a little bit.
Yeah,
the Lions set it back up there. So, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I think the Saints would be great.
But then you got the – well, Dev, what do you think about the Saints potentially being on it first?
I've never thought that it felt right ever, right? But this year it kind of does.
Yeah.
Just because, there's so much personality on the team. Like, Jameis alone is such a huge TV op. Like, I mean, the last time Jameis was on Hard Knocks, I remember him doing, a tour of his house. And, he was showing, where he used to drink water, out the faucet on the side of the house. It was just so good, you know? So I'm all for it, bro. I hope it happens. Who's the other teams? The Jets?
Now, the Jets, that's the one, though, that
Commanders,
I actually want, though. Who cares about them? I mean, it's the Jets. If the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure HBO is going to tell them, hey, or tell the NFL, hey, guys, we need it's New York. It's New York City. It's New York City, and it's Aaron Rodgers leaving and going to a new team. The story writes itself. And I feel you. I would love to see Saints. I want Jamal Williams to be back on there. I know he was just on there last year, right? But during the year, he ends up emerging as one of the premier personalities in the NFL. I guess the Bears could be kind of interesting as well. I don't find the Commanders to be interesting at all.
No. I'd like to see Mickey Loomis get some airtime. We don't really know anything about Mickey Loomis still.
Yeah.
To this day.
I want Kai Harley. I want
Kai
Harley to get some love, dude, for sure.
Yeah. So when do they announce that, man? I mean, it's got to be soon.
I'm not entirely sure. I do love your original point, too, though, Dev, today, that actually, even though, some of the trash-talking drama that is the news cycle for today involving Caleb Carter and Reese, even though it's a little annoying because I think it's all crazy, of course you talk trash, it is good for the sport, right? Because it's forced a lot of conversation that's not only pushing women's basketball to the fore, but it's making people realize, hey, we have to treat this the same way we treat other sports, in the same way that we treat athletes celebrating and dragging their nuts in other sports. This is just how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching that game yesterday, I didn't once really even think, hey, man, I'm watching a women's basketball. Or, I was just like, man, this is so much fun, It's everything you wanted that sport to be. So I don't understand the contradiction. I don't, because the same people that are saying, hey, that celebration sucks, are probably the same people who are like, man, women's basketball needs something for me to watch.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, it actually is the exact same crew. It's they're talking out of both sides of their mouth, dude. Get the hell out of here.
Classy basketball, That's I'll never forget that, man, because you got to reach down far to go pull that one. I want to see classy basketball. I mean, dude, we've watched finals after finals after finals where adrenaline just been pumping, and then what's not being said is okay, this girl's 20 years old.
Yeah.
I wish I could see me at 20 in a moment like that.
I can only imagine, dude. Dev Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. RB&R Day. What are we up to, 151 or 152 now? What's today?
151. And,
nice.
Just to keep everything on theme, I'm coming to Baton Rouge, baby. I'm going to.
Oh, nice. Where
yeah,
at?
I'm going to go to Elsie's. Clayton
nice.
Pie.
Hell yeah, it's right down the road. By the studio, dude. All right,
and I'm gonna try to make it to the parade too. So
okay. Well, the parade's not today. You talking about the welcome party at the PMAC?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes,
yeah,
that's gonna be great. 12:30. It's gonna be awesome. Hell yeah. And then there will be an official parade sometime a bit later on. But yeah, that'll be really good content for sure. All right, Dev, take it easy, man. You're the man.
See you, Dev.
All right, y'all take care.
htmsports.com, htmsports.com/shop if you want to go get some merch, support your boy there. When we get back, let's do more off the bench.
OTB, OT.
Get Gordon and get it done. Jake, there's a reason why when you're watching the game and you see the commercials, you see the commercial with Gordon McKernan dressed up in the fancy sequin tiger blazer with Coach Mulkey looking fly as hell. And that's because Gordon McKernan started the G team, okay? The Godfather of NIL, making sure that Louisiana's best athletes are able to benefit off of their talents, right? And he extends it to Coach Mulkey, the entire women's basketball team on the G team. They got it done in the championship. Gordon McKernan will get it done for you in the courtroom, 225-888-8888.
You certainly will. You can go to getgordon.com right now, have a chat. So if you're at work, maybe you can't get to the phone, you can always have that chat right there on the website. You can find cases they can handle, past client results, all on the site. On social media, the handle at GetGordon. But T-Bob said, area code in Louisiana followed by the 8s, 888-8888.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a...
Jimmy on Charles Hannegriff for the Monday edition of Game Time. We're live at Walk-Ons in Bruley. Get you ready for the NCAA Basketball Championship. Monday, live from the Walk-Ons in Bruley. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
My father-in-law just texted me that the Mountaineers are moving into the top 25 at 19. Is WU baseball starting to kick ass?
Tell your father-in-law that I have backed your love of West Virginia so many times and lost every time that I don't want to talk about West Virginia.
All that means is you're due for a win.
Every time you talk them up, I'm like, okay, let me back it up.
Okay.
Never works out for me.
They're number 24 in the D1 baseball top 25. So, yeah, I'm guessing they are now breaking the top 25. That's right. Go Mountaineers. Go Patient Plus Urgent Care. PatientPlusUC.com. You will see the difference when you work with Patient Plus. Look, get that digital profile made the first time you go in. Every other time you go in, it's just a touch of a button. Locations all throughout the city, more opening up constantly. The investment in the facility is going to blow you away. It's just different than any other place. I guarantee it. I mean, that's what I felt the first time I went and saw one of these places. It's impossible not to feel that way. So you'll see for yourself. And then if you're a business owner, right, and you got like drug testing, whatever occupational medicine needs you need met, go to the Mid-City location. And it's just, again, light years beyond the competition. Patient Plus Urgent Care, PatientPlusUC.com. Get in, get better for life's little unexpected moments. Been a very fun show today. Mario, I'll allow you a little opportunity here, and we'll probably revisit them before tomorrow's very big game. But the Pelicans, it's kind of buried in the craziness of the weekend, but a really massive win against the Clippers.
Yeah, big time. That's 7 out of 8, and you have a big opportunity here. We were talking about the standings a second ago. You're just now half a game out of 6th place. You got 3 games at home this week starting tomorrow. The Pelicans have a good chance to maneuver themselves into a good spot before the playoffs, and we'll see what happens with Zion this week. Supposed to get an update on Wednesday, but you're playing the best basketball of the year at the best possible time, and you might be getting your best player back. So this is exciting.
Yeah, again, Brandon Ingram scoring 36, not a single 3 in that win over the Clippers. And again, it wasn't like, I know Paul George got hurt recently, but it wasn't like the Clipper stars didn't play well. Kawhi scored 40 on 15 to 28 shooting.
They purposely held Kawhi out for a lot of the game before. He only played 18 minutes against the Grizzlies the night before.
I love watching all the load management stuff get crushed, like all the players and everything get crushed. I also we need to go over this someday on a slower day, the new NBA CBA and some of their rules. As now there's minimum amounts of games and everything that you have to play in order to make it. Jake, give us a quick thought about, very quick, San Diego State versus UConn tonight. Who we got? And we get more to ask the bench, but give me a winner. I think I know who you're.
Yeah, probably going to go UConn here. And I picked these two teams to win the other night. They did, so it's not a surprise. But UConn's a team that I've been riding really all season long, certainly here in the back stretch. I'm not going to go away from that. Would I love to see San Diego State win? Yeah, absolutely. I love the Aztec family. They were always so good to us in San Diego. But UConn, I can't appreciate them being undervalued. Dan Hurley, their coach, is I don't know why, but it happened, and we use that as motivation. They are not a 4 seed. I know it says 4 next to their name, bless you, Mario, but that is not who this team is. This team is basically, in my opinion, they're a 1 seed type team. They got a 4 seed because of one stretch during the season. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. This team is a legit national championship contender the entire season.
Do you take them to cover the 7.5?
Yes.
Big number.
It's dropped to 7.
Okay.
So the hook's important here.
So you're saying yes?
I say yes.
Okay, there you go.
They've been so damn dominant.
Yeah.
They haven't been challenged.
They've rolled through the tournament.
In San Diego State, battle tested, absolutely. But at what point does that catch up to you?
Yeah, well, maybe tonight. We'll see. Men's National Championship lost and sauce a little bit today on OTB, but is going on tonight. Coming next, let's close out a little Ask the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Again, reminding you to go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. See me rolling around town in the Murdered Out Mini. I hope I don't cut you off or anything.
Because they'll know it's you.
Yeah, exactly. If I do, I apologize. But even through your anger, you're going to be like, damn, that minivan looks cool as hell. And I'm going to say, yeah, it does. It's Toyota Sienna. And it got an All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, where I was able to customize the vehicle however I want it, right? I knew I needed to take the minivan plunge. The only thing I needed, I wanted to look a little different, right? I said, okay, give me Murder Out, black interior, black exterior, black wheels. What did I do? They made it happen. So whether you're buying new, you're buying a Toyota certified used vehicle, or you're just looking to rent, go see our friends off of Airline Highway at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
I would go check out the website because maybe you're just looking to lease. That's something T-Bob has done. I'm currently doing it as well, and the full fleet is available in the leasing department over there at All-Star. Same thing as rentals. Like if you just need something for a day, 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is, you can find those prices online. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Hey, it's Hunt. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 recap in LSU and Tennessee on the Diamond, and the Lady Tigers season will be done. Hopefully there's a natty involved. Hunt Palmer Show 1-3 on Monday, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Coors Light. Visit your Tilted Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Slammed a couple Coors Light Stone Cold style. I mean, I guess I just more poured them on me. Celebrating that dub yesterday. Good weekend for Coors Light drinking, though. We'll say that. Ask the Bench. Favorite cold drink besides cold beer?
Glass of milk.
Ice water.
Yeah. No. If I do drink water, which is very rare, room temperature.
Wow. That's crazy.
Shout out Blue Powerade.
Ask the Bench.
Blue Powerade hits.
Yeah, it's pretty good. On ice, especially.
Go
ahead.
Real quick, Andrew Jones getting his number retired by the Atlanta Braves.
Nice. Well deserved.
Yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. He's not, which makes no sense. So I wanted to give Andrew Jones a shout out. Number 25, retired.
Andrew.
Yeah,
That's what we're looking for.
That's what people say, but when he says it, he says Andrew.
What?
So I'm like,
I don't believe that.
I'm going to go with the way he says it.
Is Coach Mulkey the Nick Saban of women's basketball? I mean, it's tough to say when you have like Gino and guys out there, but hey, I guess her and Saban both did it at 2 different schools. So
that's the impressive part. When you can do it in 2 different places, create a culture at 2 different places, and get to the mountaintop at 2 different places, it is something that is remarkable in my opinion because it's so hard to do it one, much less 2.
Ask the bench. You see in Stavros and Nola this weekend? No, but that guy's very funny. Follow him on Twitter. He is awesome. Ask the bench. Does 7 minutes mean 4 minutes, similar to the inch scale? I don't understand.
Probably because you said we're going to give 7 minutes to the last segment every day, and we've given 4.
No, I know it was a bad day today. I told you.
Today's tough.
National championship though. National championship reigns supreme. And granted, we haven't hit 7, but we have been at 5. We've generally been at 5 to 6 the last few weeks, and that's where we want to live. Are you guys going to be broadcasting from Zurich again? I'm not sure. Are you going to broadcast from the parade? I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be great.
I would love to do a live show for the parade. That'd be fantastic.
Hopefully, there won't be like a last-minute 11th hour call to MC this one. I just wanted to do a show and enjoy this one.
Wait, what?
The football parade where Gordy called me like basically midnight the night before. It's like, hey, you're going to MC.
Yeah,
this one I'm
sit
like,
back and chill.
Yeah.
Well, I'll MC it then. So you're welcome. Just kidding.
OTB, OT.
I just rifled up my papers here, Jake. Go to Agatemp of Baton Rouge, AgaTempBR.com. Go look at the ratings for Agatemp online. You're going to be blown away.
And speaking of champions.
Yeah, for real, right? They are ratings champions. AC, heating, and electrical needs. You're going to get service to the highest degree. That is their core statement, okay? That is like at their core ethos, right? But they don't just talk it. They walk it. So, experience Agatemp by working for them. Experience what it's like to have licensed, insured people that you can trust coming in your home, where they text you information about them ahead of time so you know exactly who to expect. The entire process, you're going to be blown away, and you'll never go anywhere else. And look, the weather's crazy right now, so you probably need it. AC, heating, and electrical, AgaTempBR.com.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's what it is at this time of year in South Louisiana. So we always tell you, make sure that you are up to date with your maintenance. And if you're part of the Star membership, they're going to make sure for you. So go now, sign up today, AgaTempBR.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.